What up? What up? What up? Welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate with your host El Capitan. Gonna get into some off-season topics. Really just full gambit of the nonsense. Figured we shake steel. Figured we just go ahead and just talk about a lot of the stuff going on. Super Bowl. I mean, we've got Tyreek Hill saying no more excuses. The hell's he talking? Yeah, I agree. Sure. You've got Dan Marino on the massive media tour telling everyone he'd throw for 10 million yards because we all know he would in today's day and age. Also, the team's good. We had injuries. Team just needs to get better. Just canned answers from Dan the Man, which, I mean, look, I feel like if Dan was playing on this team, he would be a hell of a lot more honest than how he is working for the organization. But, I still love Dan. I'm not going to be upset with Dan Marino being businessman Dan. That's not competitor football player Dan. Right there, we're seeing. I mean, it is the guy in the locker room we're hearing talking and stuff, but we're seeing, company line Dan Marino, and honestly, bro, we're gonna get into. Oh, what up, Shake? Back on the Membies. Yeah, that's right. We back in this bitch too. Just so you know, we just got all hooked back up with the setup. So. Von Joe, I am going to be dropping the link, so I do want to have everyone express their feelings because that seems to be the only thing that matters to this organization. So, guys, on your way in, hit the like button. We're going to get right into it. Go grab yourself some popcorn, and we getting right into the show.
Turner Yell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10, the fake. Good block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30. This is the dynamic Hill. He's in for 6. Tyreek Hill. Touchdown. What a block.
Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour. Take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder. Work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters. They're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm f***ed off at these f***ing clowns who were all taught they deserve it now. It's only worth it if you work for it.
Yeah. We in here like swimwear, fully activated back on YouTube. Memberships going live. Super chats are live. Holla at your boy. Hit the like button on the way in, guys. If you're subscribed and you're new, thank you for your subscription. But yeah, right now is exhausting time for me as a Dolphins fan. I am exhausted. I'm exhausted with this team and this organization. It seems like... What do you mean you can't super chat? What's going on? I don't know. Should be all good to go, homie. I don't know. It seems to me that... there's almost this celebration of success from the organization, right? It's almost like there's a celebration of success, and I don't feel very successful as a Dolphins fan. Not gonna lie, not even a little bit, to be honest with you. It doesn't feel like it was a successful season. Everybody's smiles and happies. Really? Let me see what's going on, boys. What's going on? I'm looking at it right now. Let's see. Just give me a second. Let me look at it real quick, boys. Oh, word up, Shake. Let me see what's going on here. Should all be good to go.
Did you check your TCP/IP settings? And
what
you want
the
this?
fuck's that? What the fuck does that mean?
It's from a Family Guy episode.
Oh. Color. Give me a second here. I was just going through, it just feels like there's all this success that has happened with the team. Everyone's like, patting themselves on the back a little bit. Meanwhile, exactly what I feared would happen at the end of the season, a complete collapse. And where's the blame going? Well, you can't tell me it's not going on the defense, because they are overhauling the entire defensive staff at this point. And I mean, damn, dude, like, to me, it's like, oh, they're going to overhaul the defensive staff, and then that's an automatic built-in excuse for next season. Like, hey, look at that defense. They were good, but second year of the defense is going to be better. I just don't want to, I don't want to have this perpetual excuses in my life, bro. I don't need just a continuation of why things didn't happen. It's just enough is enough already, bro. Enough is enough. Let's see. What in the hell is going on here, bro? Oh, there it is. I got it now. Looks like we're good now, Shake. Should be good now. I think I turned it on. Anyhow, I'm not interested in having excuses. And to me, the defense, decimated by injury, still performed at a winnable level and elite at times and great at others, right? While the offense, to me, is the bulk of the failure in the latter part of the season, whether it was play calling, execution, game plan. I don't care. When I look at the games the Dolphins lost at the final stretch of the season, it was offensively. But we're finna run it back offensively. It's coming back again. We good. It's offensive. We're gonna be all right. Because what are they gonna do? We're gonna redo the entire defense. Ronaldo Hill, Sam Madison, adios muchachos. You mean nothing to us. As Color said not too long ago, they don't need those gimmicks no more. We're not a gimmick hire, gimmick team anymore. Supposedly. It's just, it's hard for me to have faith that the franchise and the organization's doing the right thing when I literally see them making changes that honestly weren't necessary. And if things dissolved with Vic Fangio to then roll out this entire change, why? What happened? What's going on behind the scenes in the Dolphins organization that a Vic Fangio getting the money he's getting, having the defense he had, having the control they were saying that they gave him. How is that not working? Well, yes, Hooked Up Joe. Hill did say that. And that I do appreciate. Because, listen, if you're a defensive player, you can only, hold yourself accountable. You can't say what the offense should have done. That's just bad sportsmanship and bad team. I don't expect them to, defense sucks. But I'm sick of the, I'm tired of hearing about the injuries, and I feel like they're the organization and the message that they're trying to send out there more and more and more is injuries, and we just caught a bad break. We caught a bad break, dude. We caught a great break. This is where when I look at the season last year, dude, this was the time to strike. How many starting quarterbacks in the AFC alone went down out with season-ending injuries or for long stretches? Meanwhile, our injury-prone quarterback played all 17 games. And the playoffs, never missed a game. Offensively, with our weapons, we were mostly intact. Mostly intact across the board, especially when we needed it most in the playoffs. I mean, damn, who were we down? Isaiah Wynn? Connor, maybe? I mean, you can't ask for being more healthy on offense. And the defense still performed didn't matter about the injury. So I'm not going to even. It was our time to strike last year, and we didn't. We didn't. And now we're going to roll out a lesser team. And I don't care what you say. It's going to be a lesser talented football team. Now, what more juice is worth the squeeze in this offense? What else can they get out of it? I think, everything as far as an offense and operation is kind of at its ceiling. I don't think, you can ask for much more than that. I really don't.
Are you sure we just don't need a new janitor or something, or
Color, maybe
parking lot attendant?
Helmet guy, dog. We got, we're getting our pick of the litter with the helmet guy, and that's going to be, we're getting the guy that used to do all the stickers on all the helmets. He did it for every Super Bowl that the Giants and the Patriots won. Crazy, right? There was that time there, and every Giants Super Bowl and Patriots. This guy, he is the sticker man. The sticker whisperer
right.
is what they call him.
Yeah,
they call him the sticker whisperer. And because of this guy, he's got little fingers with angels' wings on them, and his special little touch and how he caresses helmets just sets champions up, bro.
I know. I need to hire him to put the protective glass on my cell phones.
Yeah, bro.
Dude would not let one air bubble get in there. You know what I mean?
You drop those things on there if you clean them right, and they just kind of go real slow.
Yeah, but if you get one speck of dust, man, from the time you clean it to the time you drop that thing on, man, it's like you got to start all over again. That's why they give you like 4 of them in a pack.
It's true. It's, again, is there going to be more of this football team that is focusing on the wrong things? I see Hooked Up Joe's comment in there, and he's right. This Tyreek Hill 2K, is that, and I hear you, Hooked Up Joe, but is it really, was that such a distraction? Was that what that was? Was it a super distraction? What's up, Shay?
No, but you know what? You know what, though? The irony of it is, if we would have spread the ball around in a couple more situations this year, he probably would have got 2,000 because they would have stopped triple teaming him every single play. like by the end of the season, they were shutting him off like a faucet. If we would have been spreading the ball around, he would have ended up getting his 2,000. I bet.
Maybe.
No, I just want to say real quick. It's the lunch lady. Our players aren't getting their vitamins and minerals, and that's why we get injuries. That's who we blame.
Oh, you blaming the lunch lady? Because there ain't nothing around here but mashed potatoes and corn. That's all you gonna get.
Exactly. That's why we had injuries. No vitamins and minerals.
Man.
And
that old
they were giving Sunny D instead of orange juice.
That was a Cedric the Entertainer bit, man. Remember the lunch lady?
Give me 2 lunch ladies. All right. I want one, the big Jamaican lady, and she got hands that will make a fucking giant blush. I want her. And I want the other lady who is pale. She got a little bit of strawberry blonde, like red hair, and she's country as hell. She's not Cajun.
Yeah. You'll
she's
find
not
her working
Cajun.
in your average diner.
Yeah, she's not Cajun, but you can't understand a fucking word she's saying with that southern draw. And
she's
two,
smoking a Marlboro Red while she's stirring your soup.
Yep.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. She got a cowboy killer right there. And those 2 ladies,
baby on her hip with
I promise you this, you are not
face.
vitamin deficient with those 2 ladies. You might have too much vitamin, but not deficient of anything. But, I feel like there's a sense of comfortability with this organization, comfortability with the players. I mean, I don't know, man. I take losing hard, bro. I hate to lose. I fucking hate losing, bro.
I mean, this is some cutthroat stuff right here, CB83, man. Like, don't tell me about the labor pain. Show me the damn baby.
Yeah, for real. But
you drive her hard, man. Get in there and have that baby, woman.
Crypto's asking for a link. Let me drop that bad boy. It's just it's something that I'm getting fucking sick of, dude. The back and forth with the organization, so blatantly bullshitting, dog. It's just bullshit. It's all looky here while I mean, they're like, dude, I just feel like more and more I'm dealing with politics. And like the Miami Dolphins is run like fucking Congress at this point. It's a fucking lie. It's bullshit. It's a show that is only going to fuck me over in the end. And I'm sick of it, dude. I'm sick of it.
We're like a bunch of string theorists that are trying to show everybody to the world that it's still a valid theory. And everybody already knows it's bunk.
Yeah, dog. It fucking sucks. Crypto, what's good, homie? What up, X Factor?
Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Cap? What's going on, Color? Hey, listen. I've already proven. I can actually prove that we're not alone in the universe by yet not proving that we're quite alone in the universe.
So you're proving with your inability to disprove is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
I can pretty much prove there's a great probability that we're not alone, but yet not proving that we are alone.
That's right. It's just like saying God exists, and I can do the same thing.
Well, it's more like saying given enough time and distance traveled, you'll meet yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you this: given enough mushrooms and psychedelics, you can meet yourself too. I know because I've done it. So saying straight seeing me on the other world. Look at me, go, oh fuck,
yep.
There we are.
It definitely makes the photons get to your eyes faster.
Holy cow, bro! Travel across the universe on the fucking Rainbow Bridge and see yourself in the reflection through another fucking plane. Shit'll trip you out, dog.
You're gonna meet yourself at some point in another dimension.
Done it, dog. Done it. I'm a spaceman, dog. I'm a spaceman, space traveler.
And what about the initial observer, right? That collapsed the wave function of the Big Bang. What if that guy was on drugs? Like that may be why our universe is so messed up.
First of all, don't understand his theory till I'm doing enough of them. You know what I'm saying, dog? I get it.
Yeah, he pulled out his ruler and he's like, "I'm gonna create me a universe."
Yeah.
Yo, you ever watch Love? I think it's Love, Death, Robots is what it's called on Netflix. It's like a
I have to kiss out.
So it's a bunch of shorts.
I gotta check that one out.
It's a bunch of shorts, right? It's every episode is like anywhere from like 12 to 20-minute long.
So it's like Outer Limits or something like that.
Kinda, yeah. It's actually a great freaking thing. Yeah, it's like Outer Limits, perfect, or Creep Show or some shit. Anyhow,
Ray Bradbury Theater.
yeah, fucking Saturday matinee and shit like that on the WGN network. Anyhow,
the Superstation.
It's got these like directors and actors and shit like that. People put like an exuberant amount of creativity into this fucking 15 minutes. It's amazing. And they've got this one episode where these people move in this apartment and there's this old refrigerator in there. This is one of the sickest episodes ever, first of all. It was in the first season. And in the refrigerator is the entirety of time and space and shit. Like, it starts out, it's a fucking lava planet, then there's fucking dinosaurs, and it's inside their refrigerator. And like they see human evolution.
So they let their fridge go that bad, huh?
Right. Well, it's like moving at supersonic speed, right? So it's like going super fast. They're like watching it happen, and you see like civilization, and then like the Industrial Revolution, then like World War I, World War II, and then like we built skyscrapers, and then we like, I don't know. You'll have to check it out, but there's
a Star Trek Voyager episode about that.
Well, Star Trek did everything because there's 25 gazillion episodes. You can pretty much say
it's more like everybody, like they sparked so many ideas for people to spin off like the idea into something else as a standalone. So the one episode, they come across this planet and they get stuck in its atmosphere. Well, they come to find out the atmosphere got them stuck because it's a time barrier. And the planet.
Oh, I know that fucking episode, Color.
Than the Voyager is, right?
I know exactly what fucking episode you're talking about. Right. And listen, Von Joe, you seen that episode? That shit's sick as fuck, isn't it? It's weird, man. It's a good. And
they're like 3 minutes of their time is like 100 years down on the planet.
Well, what's cool about that show that I was just telling you about?
Yeah, that's like the 100. It's an episode called 100. It's like that.
What's cool about that show that I was just telling you about, Love, Death, Robots, is that like one's a fucking cartoon, next one's claymation, the other one's some weird animation you ain't seen. The next one's
that's
real
sort
people.
of like the Animatrix, man. They do a bunch of different episodes with different styles of art.
No, Von Joe, the civilization didn't end up nuking itself. They ended up assimilating. Is what they showed. It did look like it nuked itself. I'm not going to say it, but they end up pushing their technology all the way to the point where they become like a fucking. The whole civilization climbs in some bubble and it like fucking zaps off into fucking whatever, and the whole thing.
So they transcended reality.
They transcended reality and then exploded their world doing it, and it started all over again. It was fucking nuts.
See, in the Voyager episode, since Voyager was stuck in their atmosphere and it was going slower than them, their whole civilization ended up being built around what they called the sky ship, and they like worship this thing. You know what I mean? And like their whole society, like, what about the sky ship? And people and kids play with sky ship toys and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Focus. And like they end up getting somebody from the planet comes up to the ship and doesn't know that's what the case is, so they have to tell them, yo, we're going to send you back, but everybody you've known is already dead and gone because you've been here for 15 minutes.
Yeah, damn. Can't get nothing done. But yeah, so anyhow, it's we're all fucking topic now, boys. I feel like that's the universe.
I could go forever about time paradoxes, man.
Well, I feel like I'm in a fucking time paradox. I feel like I'm in a Miami Dolphins.
Dolphins put us in a time matrix.
Yeah, that's
yes,
the Matrix.
Bro. We're in a fucking.
That's somebody making a change with the Matrix, man. It's deja vu.
Bro, we're stuck.
I need to go meet the Oracle. That's who I need to go meet up with.
I need to see. Listen, there is no spoon, bro. There is no spoon, motherfucker.
And you'll come to the realization that there is no football.
Yeah, well, I mean, true, but damn, dude, it's killing me. Like, I feel like we're on repeat in the Dolphins franchise right now. Like, I feel like we are on a collision course right now from 3 years to firing everyone, blowing it all up, and getting a new GM, new owner, new fucking ordeal.
You'll realize that it is not the ball that crosses the goal line, but the goal line that crosses you.
Yeah, the goal that crosses your ball. I need a goal to cross my ball right now. Hey, ladies.
Hey,
what up, Cap?
Like the whole defense, Chris, is gone. Like the whole defensive staff is like pretty much like gone, right?
Gonzo, dog. It's their fault we lost, apparently, because that's the only change I've seen come. Not the offensive collapse or the inability to score any points or fucking push the ball down the field in colder weather through the air. That's not what it was. It was the defense that just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, they allowed field goals instead of touchdowns, so it's their fault.
Yeah,
defense. You know what the defense didn't do?
Field goals,
you want to know what the defense didn't do? They didn't score. And you know what? We used to have a guy that figured out how to score on defense pretty regularly, but that wasn't working for us then. We need that defense now. But we need that Brian Flores score defense. But we need him to be a good little boy and shut the fuck up and do as we say, not as we do type of action. That's what I see out of this organization.
Every one of y'all are wrong.
It's a hypocritical ass motherfuckers, dog.
Don't you all know that the real...
Nope, Sam Madison's gone, dog. So is fucking Ronaldo Hill.
Don't you all know that the prototype coach is already on our staff? He ain't going nowhere. And that's Danny Crossman.
That's true. Danny Crossman. You know what they call him? They call him Big Daddy Crossman is what they call him. It's not Danny Crossman in the building. That's Big Daddy Crossman, and don't cross him or he
must be the guy that's got all the connects in 305 because they just won't let him go, man. They're like, nah, he's doing something for us. Y'all don't
it's normally the special teams coordinator that survives.
Look at this fucker CB83 here. The staff is only changing because of leadership change with Fangio. Don't spread the foolishness. Leadership change. Fuck all your leadership change. Guess what?
With the offensive coordinator in the last administration.
No, we need leadership first before we can have changes at it. Where the fuck's the leaders at?
Yeah, but all them dudes that we're letting go were here. Were not brought in by Fangio. They were put into place before Fangio got here. So they're not a bunch of guys leaving with Fangio. That's not that's the false narrative.
Let's get some leaderships before we start talking about change, though. Ain't no leadership around here. You know how I know? Because when the fucking chips are down and we're playing against good opponents, everybody's fucking sitting on their hands on offense. Every player,
what
every
it
coach.
Is, I already told Cap what it is. Both Caps. We already know we don't need the gimmick anymore. We've already got the fan base sold hook, line, and sinker. We don't need to bring in the Sam Madisons and the Jason Taylors and the Wes Welkers. Oh, by the way, watch him go next.
Oh, yeah, Wes Welkers.
Can't have a $30 million wide receiver dropping footballs, Wes.
Yeah, that'd be insane if he leaves too, bro. If he leaves, that'll be like the only guy left.
I think Wes Welker is on the hook.
Duncanville's still here, right? Or did he leave to Tennessee?
I think he's on the hook.
What was it he was going to go? I forgot.
It doesn't really matter, Cap, because it's all for naught, isn't it?
I just don't understand what the hell's going on.
The whole defense is being dismantled because they was the most successful, Ron.
That's what I don't understand. The best part is pretty much bye-bye.
It's because they have a finite shelf life, man. It's not anything against the defense. It is they know that can only hold up. We've been averaging what we've been averaging for 4 or 5 years now. That defense is done. We got to build a new one because that one's old. We missed the boat. The window, the Super Bowl window. People don't realize that the Super Bowl window opens and closes with your defense. Period. If your offense get it done by the time your defense is burnt out after 5 seasons, you got to build a new defense.
New defensive coaching staff is going to need 12 weeks to get it together.
So who's the veteran on this
defense
as of today?
Grace period.
As of right now, who's our veteran on the defense?
So we're looking at 4 and 8 before they get out the ground, before they hit the ground running. Is that what we're giving
Well, I
them
mean,
now?
unless you're Vic Fangio that can get it all squared away in one game.
Well,
is that what we're doing? Well, Fangio is a seasoned vet. This guy is new.
yeah, but
People
Fangio
wanna pull
didn't.
him for a lot of stuff later in the season, but they forget that he came in sight unseen and got a win, even though we looked terrible doing it. Got everything right by the second game, and our defense was fine.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
it
know
has
what?
holes here and there. It's defense. It's reactive.
People weren't inviting Fangio to their birthday parties, and Fangio didn't give a fuck, and it bothered people.
People put way too high an expectation on any NFL defense. We're lucky that they even hold teams less than 20.
Yeah.
You didn't notice just about every team in the league is scoring over 20 points a game. So
fucking right.
What do you expect out of a damn defense? It's reactive. They don't know the play.
Yep.
The
and
offense knows the play.
If they knew the play, there'd be a shutout every week.
And the offense was scoring an average of like 13.9 points the last 6 games.
85.
So they were terrible. But the defense is the problem, boys. That's what the Dolphins are telling
Buddy
me.
Ryan
and you know what?
Defense.
You know what though? We had a top 10 defense, correct? Top 10 defense. So they're telling me that they can do better. I'm saying this defense better be top fucking 5 now, bitch. I mean, top.
Well, they've been saying the same thing for 3 seasons, and what have we been doing? We've been upping our prediction every year. Last year, I said top 3.
We were flirting with top 5 at one point.
Yeah, I mean, right, because we were on the right trajectory. So yeah, we should be top 3 this year.
I like how Michael K says barely top 10. Like, shut the fuck up.
No, I have to
top
look
10
at
is
the
top
schedule.
10. Nothing is barely about it.
I have to look at the
barely.
order of our schedule. Then I'll make my final
Barely
prediction.
top 10
comes
is
back-
number 11.
It all
What
comes
are you
back to that
talking
Tennessee
about?
game, bro. That Tennessee game dropped our average down. It all comes back to that game, dude. We would have been top 5.
You know what? You're probably right.
No, it didn't.
Well,
that wasn't
don't
a Tennessee
forget that
game.
we
Ravens
overcame.
game. We gave up 56
Right.
points.
Right, but remember that and 240 some yards rushing against the Chargers. And
That's
we
true.
still ended up in top 10.
But listen, all right. So either way, with all that, you can. This is why I don't like stats, but you got to use them as well. You could sit here and
I don't like
figure
stats
this
either
and
because
that and the other.
Tua ends up getting all those stats, Chris. You see him breaking all
Yes.
those records and everything. Goes for consideration against Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco plays a and all stats and play out. This year was crazy. I don't get it.
Oh, before you got wrapped up in the blender, you said the right name and you reminded me that I have to take a victory lap. Everybody wait real quick while Color takes a victory lap.
I don't know why.
I called the Joe Flacco Comeback Player of the Year award. Thank you very much. I made that call.
Yeah.
It's true. He did make that call.
What he did.
And
he
you know
held
what? Good
the
for
team
Joe
that
Flacco.
was right there in first place that needed to
Good
maintain.
for Joe Flacco. It was the right call. I mean, the guy came off the couch. Nobody wanted him.
That's what I'm saying. He came off the. He was in Home Depot in the checkout
and lasered up a bunch of
motherfuckers in New York. Been miserable in New York. You know what I mean? Like,
no, he was.
He overdid our
in the
quarterback.
checkout at
I
Home
knew.
Depot. You know,
I knew.
2x4s and some drywall.
But okay, all
I
right.
knew that his
That's what he was
depression
doing.
was because of being with the Jets. I knew it.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Jets.
happy in
Nobody.
New York. Nobody.
Anyhow, listen. The team and organization have made it abruptly clear that it's not just Fangio that had a problem because they're getting rid of everyone else. Everybody on the defense outside of the outside linebackers coach, it seems to be either chopped or heads on the chopping block. And why? Or is that the same thing? Did Sam Madison not get along with players? Is that what they're telling me?
I'm going to go with the guy with the
toxic.
great logo. I'm
He
going to
was
go with the
toxic,
guy
though,
with
Cap.
the best logo. Dan B says these coaches are leaving because they don't want to work with McDaniel. They don't give a F attitude.
You know what? And if this team right now, the history will tell us that this is the pivot in a young coach's career to pivot on the defense. First of all, he already threw the defensive coordinator under the bus last year with Boyer. When Boyer, he had some questionable calls, but so did McDaniel. It was McDaniel's rookie head coaching fucking calling deal. He gets all the fucking slack on earth, while Josh Boyer got none.
I had forgot
Josh Boyer
about
got
that,
none.
I had forgot about that.
Josh Boyer got none. So why? So they chop his head off. Then we bring in Fangio. That's who we wanted the whole time. We never wanted Brian Flores. It was Fangio. We were blowing kisses at forever. Now if we get Fangio and we're like, oh, you know what? This guy's an old man. He doesn't like us. Oh, word. That my cousin right there. Look at that. With a $50 donnie. Let's go.
Damn old Jonathan keeping the lights on around here.
Yeah, he is.
He says next year's our year, point blank, period. Well, you know what? That's a good start to putting towards our year. You know,
if it is our year, Cap, you in the blender, dog.
Keep donating like that. It's going to be TFTG's year too.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Jonathan. That's Jonathan Whitten with the $50 donation. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's my cousin, dog.
Oh, that's really your cousin?
That's really my cousin.
Oh, okay.
He's up freezing his ass off. No.
Shout out to cousin Cat.
Yeah, he's freezing his ass off right now out in North Dakota.
Is he like a commander?
Sure.
All right. So he's number one.
Yes, that's my dad's brother's son. Me and my cousin have gotten into more fucking trouble than everybody on this panel
right.
put
So
together.
when you're rolling out, you're like he's your number one. It's like number one.
Yeah, yeah. When I got some real shit that need getting done, I'm gonna call him. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyhow,
hence the name Vice President.
Sure.
It's the vice president does all the dirty work that the president can't do.
Oh shit! This fool getting on it too. Damn, dog, you better stop.
Without even a comment. Now you got like a whole paragraph you can write for $100.
Damn. Watch out now. Look out. Coming in hot with the donies.
You guys are back on track now?
Yep. Dog. We off probation, man. No more parole for TFTG. We did all the community service we needed to do, and didn't get any more speeding tickets.
No more sociological issues. None of that.
None of that shit. We ain't got to go see the therapist no more. We ain't got to go pee in a cup no more. We out here, dog. We out here, bro.
Yep.
And by the way, I learned never to put Elvis in one of my titles.
At the re-education camp.
Yep. We were on the work release.
Good model citizens now.
They used to they were making us build pick up trash on the highway and shit. All that stuff, dog. We had to do it. Because I use fake urine.
But that's official on the 15th, right? Or 14th?
What is?
It's official where the donations start coming. I mean, not donation, but our monthly fees start coming back out.
I think so. Yeah, on the 21st or something like that. Yeah,
that's the real crappy thing, Mr. Polk, is they just suspend it for everybody, and they don't even give the courtesy to our audience to say, "Hey,
to let them know that
we'll start back up. Be careful."
What's weird is some will automatically start back up. Like it looks like G's automatically start back up, but Michael K has to redo his. It's weird. There's no method or madness. I don't know what to say or do.
Some people know that
I had to renew mine.
Hold on.
Yeah, Shake had to renew his.
Well, I was going to say, did you stop it though, Shake? Did you suspend it when we got demonetized though?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking maybe some people suspended it and whoever didn't.
It's just no rhyme or reason, dog.
No, I suspended mine, but then I started back just a little while ago.
And I don't get it. Because they got the best programmers in the world. They're Google, man. Like what the?
Yeah, they literally run the gambit, dog. They literally run it all. So,
I just don't understand why they're bothering us. I mean, Yeah.
Well, it has to
Well,
do with, if you notice, Mr.
just
Pug,
don't
we're not
understand.
really sure why, but we changed up a couple things in the way we start our shows because we were
Yeah.
thinking maybe the algorithm was confusing it for re-uploaded content because we start with the same intro every show. You know what I mean?
So we
We started. That's why we pop in now and tell you, "Hey, how you doing? Show's going to be
Yeah,
about
that's why
this."
we
when
do some
come
cold
back, and then we
opens
run
now.
the intro.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
that's
still
why we
don't
do
make no
cold
sense to
opens
me.
now.
That still
So
don't
they
make
don't
no
think
sense
we're
to me.
re-uploading. Like all, how you get all
Exactly.
these re-uploaders that you watch the same episode of something 500 times because they put it on 5 different channels.
Yeah.
That's what they
they'll do
thought we
that.
were doing.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, I mean, I don't
What?
consider.
Color, is that true?
Uh-oh.
Google means robbery in German?
It could. I don't know.
What? That's some shit. Yeah, dude. I'm just going to run with it, Jonathan. I'm just going to run with it. I'm running with that. What were you saying, Mr. Polk? Sorry about that, buddy.
No, I was saying to me. I mean, to me, how should I put it? There are platforms to me that deserve to be observed and watched more, but definitely not this one. So that's where I have a problem with that. There are other platforms that are way off the chain to me, and they should be really looking at them, not us.
I
I
agree
mean,
with
just
you
my
there.
opinion. I can be wrong,
I
but that's
agree.
my opinion.
There's some capping ass shit going on
Right.
YouTube, yet I feel like we're getting
Right. Like
attacked.
when you see that clip of Shay Shay and the YouTube channel is some like Korean name. That's
or
that's
it's
what
some
they were
it's some
accusing us of. But that's what
it's
they
some
were accusing
script
us
I
of.
can't read. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, that ain't Shannon Sharp. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
That
the
ain't
thing's
his
got
content, right.
1,700,000 friggin' views or some shit. It's like, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, and so their algorithm is tailored to get those people out, and it catches people like us because we were
But
using
you
the
know,
same intro.
There's people that do that though, and take clips of other people and do best of clips of
Right, it's
other
a whole
shows.
industry. It's a whole cottage industry, Cat for Life.
Yep.
That's what they're trying to
They
stop.
get paid off other people's clips.
But that's basically what they were accusing us of because the algorithm confused our content for that shit.
I guess we don't know.
That's our best guess. We don't even.
That's our best.
They
We
didn't
don't.
give us
The
any
thing
answers.
the thing that sucks is we don't fucking know, and we can't find out. And whenever I've spoken to somebody about it, they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, thanks. And
Exactly.
we just got to make changes, and wait for them to hit us again, and try to make other changes. That's pretty much.
But we
how it
also
goes.
don't know if maybe we did something that they couldn't pin on us, so they came up with this other stupid reason. You see what I'm saying? So we're still watching our P's and Q's for other stuff too, because we just don't know.
Honestly, bro, let's call
Could
it
have been
what it
something
is.
somebody said.
Could be that they just don't like the fucking gate, bro. Could be that they're fucking haters on us.
Or
There could be somebody
we're rowdy,
out here with
we're
malicious
rowdy, and
intent.
let's face it, the side of the aisle they're on doesn't like rowdiness. Let's just be real,
I'm sorry that I fucking
quite
don't
sure
play
that-
around, and while I play around, goddamn.
No, it was CB83 that was allowed to come and be on the panel. That's why they killed the freaking.
Oh,
Crypto,
crypto.
it was right after he got monetized, bro. So you might be onto something, man.
You're right. Maybe it was CB83's bitch ass fucking around over here.
Spam reporting us and shit.
That's it was.
Yeah.
Kept sending out spam reports.
Goddamn fucking bitch.
And he did it on the burner account so he can go on.
But they got CB2, right? They got him and Larry and Larry K.
But that's what happens when you buck the tiger. That's what happens, man. You look into the abyss and you might fall in.
Is Larry coming back though? I'm talking about the other, not Larry K, but the
I
other.
don't know, man.
No,
From what
Larry
everybody's telling me,
Fin
he's
Fan
gone,
Panel.
man.
He said he ain't doing it no more, dog.
He just want to deal with their
He
nonsense.
says he's tired of it, dog.
Y'all ran him up out of there.
They got me first.
Crypto, it was you and me, bro. Crypto, I think you and me got him over the edge, bro.
So CB83, so a bit of advice, bit of friendly advice, CB83. We suspect, like I said, that they hit us because we were using the same intro for every show and it looked like re-uploaded content. So adjust yours accordingly. Do yourself a little quick monologue intro and then hit your your actual video intro. It might help.
Yeah.
No,
We don't
Yeah,
know.
that's what I've been doing.
You ain't gonna get that advice from the other YouTubers.
No.
We don't charge for that advice, CB83.
Actually, I do, and I expect my payment, bro.
I'm finna say, yeah, I take interest.
Yeah.
Like 0.25 interest per second. You know, I'm
Fucking
gonna
right,
charge you a
crypto.
small-
We're gonna get some Ethereum with that
Yeah.
shit too, dog.
I think
Yeah,
Larry
right.
K's already back. Larry K's already back because they hit him like a couple of weeks before us.
Yeah, they
So he's
did.
already
I
been
know. I
back.
was talking to him about it. I was like, yo, they hit him for even dumber shit, honestly. Like, it's the same shit, but he thinks they hit him because he was using his phone to record his screen and point and break down film. I pretty much don't think they don't like film breakdown, dog, personally.
And they can't technically get you for copyright, so they come up
No,
with
they
these
can't.
other internal
That's
reasons.
right. They
to-
don't
to
want
hit
you doing that.
Right.
If you're gonna break down film, you need to fucking record it, keep it under 30 minutes, and fucking release it, and hopefully you don't get smacked on that bit. It's fucking
And you have
sucks,
to make
dude.
you have to make a big production out of it, and that's basically what they're after. They want it to be
Bro,
changed
I
enough.
yeah,
to
I
say
was
it's
fucking.
your own original content now. You know what I mean? Which makes sense, but it's just
I get it, but damn,
nitpicky.
dude, you're talking about I mean, how long's a fucking NFL play? 13 seconds
But the
maximum.
problem, Cap, is they use an algorithm or AI to make that determination. Which
Well, AI needs to. AI ain't
a
taking
computer
over
program
shit
has to-
being this
but a
dumb.
computer program has to make a cutoff. It can't make a
It's
judgment
crazy because
call
I
like
got
a
an
human
AI
can.
phone now, Cap. My
But,
phone
that's
is
what I'm saying,
AI
but
now. It's
The
fully
computer
integrated now.
has to make a
Yeah.
judgment
Phone.
call at a
What kind of phone
finite
you
point.
got,
It can't make a judgment call. It
Crypto?
can't say, "Oh,
The
that's
24,
sort of
the,
like it, but not."
24 Ultra.
Oh,
You know,
I
it,
Wait
don't
it
give a
only
15
fuck,
more
knows
years,
dog.
you're
if
gonna
this
have a
and that.
robot AI refs.
But I'm saying the program only knows if this, then that. It doesn't know where to cut off the fine
Damn.
line. You know what I mean?
Dude, damn.
It just says, okay, here's the line, and these people crossed it, even though they really didn't. Because a human would have said, no, that's not crossing the line. It just looks like it.
okay.
That's why AI will never take over the world, because it can
AI
never
stands
understand
for
human
ain't it.
context.
Well, they sure gonna try. You better believe that.
All it could
I
ever
agree
do
with
is
you.
understand its own in intelligent context. It can't understand how
Yeah,
humans
well, it
communicate.
seems fucking wildly unintelligent to me, and I'm over it.
Well, not unintelligent, just not human intelligent.
Well, people are
Yeah,
fucking
it
dumb
has
as
its own
fuck, color, and
That's true.
you know,
That's true too.
so I just need
But
this
that's what I'm
AI to
trying
be.
to say.
I
That's
need
what I'm
this
trying to
AI to
say.
be a fucking Walmart
That's
shopper
what I'm trying
before
to
it starts
say.
making
the
decisions.
AI algorithm
Yes.
directs it to get smarter and smarter. That's why it can never take us
Is
over.
it getting
'cause we're
smarter and
too
smarter?
dumb for it
Because
to
I feel like
understand.
some
Listen.
fucking douchebag is back there
we are too
programming
dumb.
it to their
Cap, we're
fucking
too dumb.
doucheness.
He's
We
in
are
his basement eating a bag of pretzels
That's
with
my
some
Bro,
hot
they got
wings.
the robots working at Amazon
Right.
already, bro.
Right.
It's cool.
The program is designed to learn and get more intelligent. That's why it can never take us over, because we're too dumb for it to understand.
Mm.
That's our advantage. We're too
Are
dumb
we
for
too
the
dumb
AI
to
to
understand that they're
understand.
taking over?
Nah, I don't know if it's a dumbness that we're too much of. I think we're just too human.
I mean,
and it'll never
natural
be that.
dumbness. Like the computer doesn't understand natural dumbness, which is actually a
Dave, you-
form of communication between us as humans.
Have you guys ever heard of the flower of life?
Nah.
The flower of
The
life.
lotus, is that the lotus flower?
I mean,
Bro,
I
look
know
up
a
the
flower
flower
of
of
life
life.
I'm thinking
Flower of
of,
life.
but probably not the one you're talking about. Go ahead, Cap.
Bro, look up the flower of life. It's pretty much a format of how the world is created using that type of geometry, bro. It's
Oh,
circles
you're talking
among
about
circles. that
you're,
make
you're talking about
equations.
Seiko geometry.
Yeah, symmetry.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That makes
called
hydrogen.
symmetry.
It finds a formula, bro, to make hydrogen fuel that can make water into fuel, bro. Like
Just
all this
careful,
stuff.
Cap.
Right now, bro.
Just be careful. That Seiko geometry crap is a trick of the devil, because they'll fucking
Yeah.
spiral you into madness, dog. It'll spiral you into madness.
Oh,
Just like
Cap-
foosball.
Skynet is falling.
Those are one of the most forbidden
You
books.
didn't tell me Cousin Cap was a two and here, bro.
He's
Cap hit the nail
huh?
on the head.
Nah, he's not a two in here. He's not a tune. He don't give a fuck, dude. That man don't. That no one could care less than him. Actually, my daughter's the only one who can care less than my cousin.
So is he from the uncle that lives down the way from where I'm at?
Both my uncles live down the way, so yeah.
Right. All right.
Oh, okay. They nearby. You can reach out and touch them.
I don't know what the fuck Michael K means by talking about Dolphin fans exclusively. I don't know I don't get it.
He's probably on some rant that we weren't paying attention to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking always talking about something else. Yeah, my cousin he's a roughneck, dog. He does oil.
Michael K, you might want to put your house up for sale. Buffalo is still in the toilet.
Oh,
I don't know
gonna get us started.
I think he just needs
Michael K, it'll be all right. Hunting season will come around again.
Yeah. And I'm gonna shit on Buffalo because they're easy targets for guys like me, but they still win more football games than us guys. So that's
what's depressing, right?
Oh yeah,
a crappy team wins more than you do.
It's fucking terrible.
That's depressing.
He's saying we were talking about the dumb people,
Nene's a new member.
and he was saying it's only the Dolphins fan base exclusively. And I actually agree with that. We are definitely the spearhead of the idiocracy in this country.
Well, if we're calling it like it is, Color, the Bills were the cucked dumbasses long before the Dolphins fans became this.
Right.
way.
They just became better at it.
We've only caught up to where they've been
you have to
living
stand in
for
awe.
forever.
Bills and Dolphin fans have to stand in awe over the Jets, man.
Oh, fuck. The Jets organization. Jesus, dude. They've got them bitches mainlined. They're like their catheter at this point. They're so hooked up.
Thank you for restarting that, Nene. Appreciate Nene.
Hey, Color.
She's a new member, but she's an old member.
Hey, just imagine, Color, like the enemy having their satellite spy satellites all around the place, and they're just focusing into Buffalo, and they're just like, what the hell's going on in America?
They're like, oh, this is going to be an easy takeover.
Right? The one shot we had to make contact, they were flying by. They saw a Buffalo fan fly through a table, and they're like, they're not ready yet, and they moved on.
No. You know what, though? Sadly enough, Dolphins fans, we are about 2 or 3 seasons away from having our own jump through tables types of fans in this fucking fan base right now. It's a lost cause at this point.
Yeah,
but they should make you believe like it's coming up and up.
No, we'll be trying to jump through surfboards and shit.
Salute, X Factor. Welcome to the family.
Yeah,
it's not really looking all that great, guys. It's not. I mean, is this team going to be?
It's a bleak moment. It's a bleak moment.
It's a bleak looking future.
But I like what Cheetah said as far as saying, look, I don't like the excuses, but I also know that everybody has experience now in the playoffs.
Year one. He's a year behind.
But when he said the experience factor of everybody playing, that opened my eyes. Like he's saying pretty much, yeah, man, everybody here has playoff experience. Like we should not be playing backwards now.
Okay, what's forward? What's forward?
We had
one more game every year. Again, here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. We have operated, and I'm guilty of this as well as a Dolphins fan. We've operated in this paradigm where like everything is the same at the restart of every year, health, everything. Other than bad things going on, we're only counting on the good things to happen, and every year we're going to get incrementally better, which is kind of true, but you're not going to go from getting into the playoffs and losing in the first round to then, next year we're going to get in the playoffs and win in the first round. Then the following year we're going to get in the playoffs and win in the first 2. Like this is this counting measure that we keep finding ourselves in. I say to you this, no, you're better off hoping that you're getting a Houston Texans turnaround where you're the worst fucking team in the NFL. You win your division and win in the fucking. That's a team that can count. That's a team that can count a couple of years and say we're going to be Super Bowl teams.
Cat, you're getting to the long way of what I've been saying this whole time. The difference between a Super Bowl contender and a playoff contender. We are playoff contenders because we hope we're going to take the next step every year in the playoffs, and that's how we build our team. We don't build our team to compete with the Super Bowl contenders and then, lose a couple or win a couple on the way. That's the difference. I've been trying to stress that difference. When you build a team with the mission of getting to the playoffs and then winning one and then winning another one, you're never going to get there. You're always going to be one and done.
And there's this hope, right? Like that we're going to build this foundational type of football team where like right now printing the foundational football team method is the 49ers. And I want to point to the 49ers versus the Chiefs Super Bowl right now. It is the only two ways in the NFL that you can get to where both those teams are. Number one, the Chiefs, elite quarterback playing elite football who is all but unstoppable, right? Or number two, building an organization over the last 8 fucking years straight and having a method in which they, smoke it in the draft and they add fucking great free agents and Christian McCaffrey and they pivot off quarterbacks on a whim trying to figure something out, whether it's trading for one, paying one, or getting lucky in the draft. They've done all of that shit, but the organization has taken the better part of a decade to get to this point. And again, Jonathan, what's up, dog? Yeah. I was a Dolphin fan in 2007. Yeah, I know it. Fucking 1-16. Shit was
getting
insane.
Oil from the soil. More like getting the cash from the ground, man.
Oh yeah, dog. My boy printing them money up in that mud.
Cash from the grass.
Cash from the grass and ass. Sometimes. You got to clap them booty cheeks for $1, make them holler.
Technically,
what up?
oil.
What up, Dolphin winners? Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. You know how it is. Sometimes I got to let my hair down, bro.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Oh, man. How's everybody doing, man?
We're doing good, dog. We're doing good. We back in action.
What's going on?
Listen, I had to rejoin, man. I was like, I seen you guys were back in action. Congratulations on that. And definitely continued success, guys. And, hopefully we have no mishaps. That's it.
I mean, we're going to have them, dog. That's what we have learned. That's what we have learned, dog. I don't know how I keep fucking up or how we keep fucking up, but it's going to happen again, dog. That's all I do know. That's it.
I almost wish it was a real fuck up so we could at least say, hey, we did that, and now we know not to do that going forward. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Take your lumps. You did something wrong. You take your.
I feel like I deserve it, though. I've been a bad boy.
What the hell we did wrong, man?
Certain words, certain phrases, certain things that you just can't say. And I mean, we know we have freedom of speech, but we just don't have freedom of speech on YouTube. That's
right, winners. And when they can't pin it down, like if it's something we said that they didn't like, but there's no actual rule against it or something, that's when they get the default, oh, you're re-uploading content.
That's it, dog.
And, shut you down. You know what I mean?
Just too motherfucking free up in here, bro. They don't like that
what
shit.
What content are we re-uploading?
Yo. I can't control thought, but I could damn near try.
By the way, El Cap, I've been monitoring that since we got demonetized, right? You know how many channels out there cut their clips and re-upload them on the same channel?
All of them?
Every one of them.
You're fucking
Dave
right,
Rubin,
they do.
Megyn Kelly, all of them do it.
All the big guys doing the same shit we keep getting in trouble
I go on my timeline and I'm like, I already watched that video. Oh, that one's only 14 minutes long. So they clip their own shows and re-upload them.
That's it.
We weren't even doing that.
But have y'all ever thought that maybe they made a big mistake and
no, what it is.
No, don't even say that shit, Mr. Polk. Don't even say that shit, Mr. Polk. They ain't the mistake. Sorry, massa. Motherfuckers, dude. I don't like that shit. It's bullshit. I know what they doing. They're keeping a motherfucker down.
Those people that they're allowing to do that, it's because they've got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So they can get that YouTube doesn't want to find some reason to demonetize them. You know what I mean? So they let them get away with it.
When that money start rolling in, it don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
If we had
Cash
a
is
million
king.
subscribers right now, we could upload anything the hell we want. We could do all 22. We could do anything. As long as it's nothing they could sue us for.
Yeah, it sucks.
No,
it is what it is, but you know.
So yeah, so we're just doing we're just doing it like, hey,
doing what we do, dog.
We suspect this, so we made this change, and we try not to talk about too much controversial issues.
It always comes right after there's like an update or something. You know what I'm saying? Some change gets made right around September, October time every year, and it's
right when the NFL stands to make all the
when
money.
We're cooking, right when everything's ramping up, all that stuff. Then it's like, yo,
right when we start cutting in onto the NFL's pie, man.
That's right. Right when all this pushback against narratives comes rolling around, they're like, shut these guys down.
Right.
Hey, real quick, winners, what's going on, man? So what do you think so far since the season ended with everything that's going on and people jumping ship and coaches changing and coaches coming in? I mean, what you
think about this defense right now, winners?
Let me say this. Right now, a lot of people are panicking. I'm being honest with you. I feel better about our coaching. What's the name? Our coaching choices. I want to see them play out, and want to see how everything. I really want to see how everything plays out. Basically, I really do.
Well, I mean, Dolphin winners. We got no other choice, dog.
Quick shout out to Raphael Chasen from Raiders Nation. He is
the homie.
He is El Capitan's doppelganger from Vegas.
That's right.
When he finished.
Go ahead, winners.
I'll be honest with you guys. Like, really, a lot of people are like, really, like, first thing first is out of our control. So that's the first thing I go with it, with the whole thing. There might be players that we enjoy, you know. It's going to be players that we want to retire with the team, and then they're not going to be with this team next year. They're just not. You know, Christian Wilkins definitely is going to be maybe a casualty.
I think Christian Wilkins, Andrew Van Ginkel, and Xavier Howard will not be on this team next year, dog.
That's going to be gone.
All three of those guys are going to be out this bitch.
Now, honestly, I can tell you honestly, straight up, right from the door, I wouldn't be surprised Van Ginkel goes to Minnesota. And I don't know where Xavier Howard goes, but I wouldn't want to lose any of those guys. But I'll say this, just realistically, we're not going to be able to keep all those guys. That's just what.
Well, I know for a fact there's a couple of NFC teams that are inquiring about Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey. Teams like the Falcons and the Commanders, both those teams are looking at the Dolphins and their cap problems and looking at potential trades that Dolphins might pull off. Or cap casualties that they're holding their breath for. So that's a fact. I know I've read a couple of articles on it already. There's some watching going on. Because they're making it abruptly clear. We are making changes on defense, and we're going to try to, quote-unquote, do a youth movement, not because of that's what they want. That's how they're billing it. That's how they're selling it. But the reality is they're making cuts to the defense because of bad management and decisions with this football team right now. And they can call it what it is, but it also looks like motherfuckers be jumping ship. Right? Like I've seen this same narrative, this same type of movement, action, and everything happen, but they were saying bitches be jumping ship. Mm-hmm. Right now, I feel we could be in a situation where we're looking at ourselves in the latter part of the year, miss the playoffs, and go, well, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll say this to that, right? For the people that's jumping ship, because we actually had somebody on the show a couple weeks ago on the WCFL Dolphins talk show, and we actually had somebody come on there and actually said that they wanted to be a Chargers fan. So, our platform is not like this. I actually love this platform, but our platform is more relaxed and therapeutic and stuff like that. So we actually talk like regular adults. We gave them to them a little bit, but we did it politely. You get what I'm saying? So I told him, I said, if you have a Marinos jersey, you can mail it. I'll actually inbox you my address if you want to mail the Dolphin stuff. Like, I don't have a problem. Listen, I have no problems with anybody coming on on my platform or Papa Ball's platform and John, the whole crew's platform. I have no problems with anybody coming on our platform and explaining themselves and want to sit and talk. I have no problems with that.
Yeah.
But when you got cats talking about, oh, this team, I can't believe, yo, dude, where was you at? Like somebody mentioned earlier, 1-15. Where was you at then? When was you at all these years where we haven't made the playoffs? Where have you been where we knew going into the season what it was? Like, where were you at then? Because
So I would say this, Dolphin winners. I would say here's the deal, right? Like being bad and having those expectations and meeting them is different than being this good and failing to meet the expectations that honestly, look, this was supposed to be the year we were supposed to win the playoff game.
Right.
Now everything's shifted and changed. No, it's next year we're gonna make that increment. Again, it just feels like they're feeding us the same old for us to then, dude. I feel like we are on an impending place in the. Okay, so we have 2024, 2025, in the 2026 season. We're going to be the team that is blowing it up. You know, tanking for a new quarterback, got a new GM, got a whole new coach. We're not going to be a finesse team no more. We're going to be a smash mouth football. Like that's what we're going to restart the fucking cycle and get our Tony Sperano in that claps, and you know we're going to smash mouth football, and here we go. We're all the way. We've come full circle, and that's where it feels like, because
you forgot the cheering on field goals part.
I said that. I did that. I said that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joe Risk.
I'll say
it just because to me, this past season, it couldn't have been any better laid out for us with talent, with coaching, with everything, and then even more schedule, our home games late in the year, our ability to be not just win our division, but shit, dude, we had a clear line of sight to be the best in the AFC. We had a clear line of sight. We controlled our own fucking destiny for the last 7 games of the year. And to have the slowly weakened collapse when it was the offensive side of the ball, and it certainly, that wasn't the side that should have been collapsing. It should have been the defense, and it wasn't. And now we're making all these changes to the defense, and it's like I feel like they're teeing it up for a defensive failure to then restart the cycle, dog. I feel like I'm caught in the bizarro world, because how many quarterbacks went down in the NFL last year? How many AFC number 1 quarterbacks went down? All of them? All of them except for there's 3 quarterbacks I could think off the top of my head that are 4 that played the year. Lamar Jackson,
take advantage.
Patrick Mahomes, Tua Tagovailoa, and Josh Allen.
Yep.
Those 4 teams should be the final 4 fucking football teams. But you know who wasn't? It wasn't us. Wasn't us. We weren't one of those final 4 fucking football teams. Why?
I like the fact that you brought that up, because I watched the clip with Tyreek Hill actually speaking on it, and he clearly said no more excuses. There's no excuses. Like, he kept it a whole 100. You know,
I get that, and that's good for Tyreek, and I love him for saying that, and I think he believes it too. But Tyreek Hill, a company man, dog. He a company man. He's saying the right things, and next year, if failure is upon us, he'll be saying the right things again.
Well, I'll say this to you: you would say the right things if you got paid $72 million up front.
I'll fucking say the right things for less than that, dog. Give me $72,000 a year. I'll say the right things, Miami Dolphins.
I'm telling you, we're sitting here saying the right thing for YouTube's measly little.
Yeah, for my ability to fucking get my cousin's donations and shit.
You know, guys, Color in particular, you know, you kind of beat on me a little bit, deservedly so, when I said that you guys aren't going anywhere until your ownership changes. And I made the point about maybe, you know, Steve Ross moving on to another plane in this, existence.
To another realm.
Yeah, to another realm. Thank you for the right word. You know, the Bills did nothing until Ralph Wilson, you know, passed away in his sleep. He was 95 and he had a good life and everything, but he was completely lost I mean, he wasn't spending any money, unlike Steve Ross, who spends all the money in the world. He just directs it in the wrong place. But Ralph Wilson wasn't making good management decisions. They had to go in and basically gut the whole thing with a new owner and rebuild the whole thing. And I have a feeling that if Ross doesn't do it, I don't know who's going to, because that's what has to happen, in my opinion. I don't see Greer, McDaniel, Tua, and that combination doing anything to win. And I think you're going to end up in another teardown all over again.
I never disagreed with you. I only disagreed with your tact. Like, waiting for the inevitable is not a solution. That's a cop out to the question at that time.
Well, the Bills did for 17 years. They didn't do anything. They had an owner who wasn't going to spend any money, who wasn't going to do anything, who was making lousy decisions. And the next thing you know, they went 17 years without a playoff win.
But I bet you if we were all standing next to it, I bet you if we were all standing out by the heliport when his helicopter landed to make him know.
Shout out to the cuz fucking dropping the bank up on this bitch today, dude.
Do you guys? Well, let me ask a question. If next year ends up like a 7-10 season for Miami, are you gonna? Do you think you need to gut everything?
Can I say something?
If
I'll be the first on that bandwagon if we're 7-10.
Guess what? Guess what? We don't have to have that discussion,
including the freaking toilet bowl.
It'll happen. It's not up for discussion.
Even the equipment.
Dolphins win only 7 games next year. That shit happens automatically. The only problem is that if the Dolphins extend Tua, it'll be everybody but him, and we will find ourselves in exactly the same situation we've been before.
Arizona Cardinals.
Right.
That's right. That's exactly right. We will find ourselves in a position we know.
I have a feeling like if the Bills don't go to the Super Bowl next year, McDermott's going to be replaced by Belichick. And that whole thing's going to get blown up.
Will be the NFC Cardinals.
Yeah, and actually,
the NFC version of the Cardinals is right.
Pete and I discussed about 4 or 5 weeks ago, while the season was still going on, and that was one of our biggest concerns, was that it was looking like we were just like the Cardinals, and it turns out like we're getting there really quickly, especially if we dump a bag on this quarterback.
Well, actually, about a few years back, Mark, you said something that I was thinking about years back. We should have done that. We should have done that a few years back, actually.
Well, here's the thing, right?
The draft where you had 12 picks and grabbed Tua is where you screwed the thing. It was where the thing got screwed up.
Mark, that's what I was getting ready to get to. Like,
no, it was COVID that didn't allow us to do a proper offseason evaluation.
Here was the thing, right?
Good point,
The Dolphins fixed their books, tanked, traded away their talent, and did a full reset, the likes of which the NFL has never seen. And when you have a clean slate of money for years to come and draft picks to retool it with, it was all good. Questionable in the quarterback as far as what you want, but I don't know. My point is that to get that again is going to take 3 years of fucking redoing it. And, dude, what are we talking about? We're on a 15-year restart now? It sucks.
The Texans did it in 1 year, though, Cap.
Joe, I mean, the Texans says, hold on a second, Josh. Joe Ritz says, Tua, Darius Rucker, and Daniel Jones in one video. Was the bar called Mid? And no, Joe. The name of the bar is actually called Tees Lounge.
Tees Lounge. That's funny.
That's fine.
Tees Lounge is a place that's
good old Danny Dimes.
Yeah, some of y'all locals around this area will get the joke there.
Yeah, Tees Lounge.
I want to give you guys a little fantasy story here. Let's just say in the 2019 draft, or in the 2019 draft, you drafted Wirtz at 5. You drafted Jordan Love at 18, and then you used the next pick to go ahead and get T. Higgins. You would have never had to make the Tyreek Hill trade. You wouldn't have not had to give up all that draft choice and eat up all that salary cap. Everything would have changed. The whole dynamic would have changed.
Well, Mark, I'm not saying. Listen, I can't look at what we didn't do and did do. What I can say is do something about it now. You can't go, oh well, 3 years ago you fucked up not drafting
Not
so and
next
so
week,
and
but
drafting
tomorrow.
this one. Like yeah,
Tomorrow's
like
the Super
okay,
Bowl.
I can't go back and change the past. Rather than riding out with the bad decisions in management, fucking do something about it. And that's the difference between what's going on here in Miami in this regime versus to what the San Francisco 49ers are doing. They don't give a shit. They fucked up with a bad draft. They gave away a bunch of first-round draft. They didn't care. They went and fixed it anyhow.
It's just like if you're walking down a trail, right? You fall into a hole. You're in a big hole. You're looking up. You could come up with a million scenarios how you could avoid it falling in that hole, or you could just get out of the fucking hole.
There you go, Shake. Perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
Why are the
Rather
Dolphins?
than
Why are
talking
the
about
Dolphins-
how did
hold
my
on.
life lead up to this moment,
But El Cap,
different road.
Would that count the
But
hole
why-
that Bill Murray kept stepping in on Groundhog Day?
yeah,
Take a different road. You can take a different road.
But why do you
But
think the
what?
Dolphins are quote unquote in a hole though?
Well,
Because I look
I'll
at it
tell you
like
why, Josh. I'll
hold
tell you
on,
why.
color. Let me
Let him land, let him land.
let me say,
Think about it.
Question is usually-
go
because
ahead and land.
when you say a team is in a hole, like I agree with you, like the Cardinals are in a hole, but I kind of look at the Dolphins similar to when the Chiefs had Alex Smith, and there really was no move to make until they identified Patrick Mahomes. So why come off that strategy? That's I don't understand.
How much
Well,
did they
I'll-
pay Alex Smith?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
That's a good question, Color. I don't know. That's a good point.
Not only
they
that,
probably
but
didn't pay him
like
as much, Josh.
they infamously, before Alex Smith and still now, have been knocking it out of the park with and not just great, like good draft, like great draft picks in areas that are in key positions, all the way from the fucking special teamers that end up becoming superstar running backs or fucking offensive guys, or which guys in which they go and get that are integral to their team on the free agent market. They don't
Cap,
miss
I can
in
sum it up
other
really
places.
quick for you. It's you go get a McDuffie, you go get a Karlaftis, you go get the guys that they got and the linebackers that they got,
No,
and you compare.
Mark, it's about I'm talking about the Chiefs way before that, Mark.
And getting
way
Ramsey
before that
and all that other stuff.
Yeah, but okay. Remember Bowden that they got, or Bowen or whatever that they used to get. Like they would get these superstar guys that are, phenoms doing whatever it is that they're doing. I mean, Panchenko right now, that guy was just a fucking guy. Now he's the fucking Tyreek Hill running back. You know what I'm saying? Like he's insane of a weapon that they keep finding. They lose Tyreek Hill, they insert Panchenko, and
I thought Devin A-Chain was the best, most explosive.
I agree. Devin
running back
A-Chain,
rookie
great,
in the
but
league.
I don't see him Panchenko in us to the fucking Super Bowl, do I? Now,
Pacheco is not doing that. Patrick Mahomes is the one taking the Chiefs to the Super Bowl.
Well, then again,
come on.
That's why I use the perfect duality. That's why I tried to use the perfect duality of the two teams that are in the Super Bowl right now. You can have your fucking elite quarterback, which let's say we don't. We may have a franchise guy. It's not certain to me at this point, but he's definitely not an elite quarterback. It's done. He's not the, could he be? Could it one day for sure? But
I'll tell you why we're in a hole, Josh Allen. Hold on. Thanks, Jonathan.
Jonathan goes right after you. Josh Allen is the next LA. He goes, that's the name you picked.
Should say it. I'm thinking about going back to Brett Favre. I don't know.
But listen, hold on, Color. Let me land. On the flip side, the San Francisco 49ers, who build through their ranks, their offensive line outside of the guy they got, Trent Williams. The other guys are all middle picks that go through their ranks. You know what I'm saying? They go and get a big-time free agent signing and Christian McCaffrey. They've made these nice moves. Even with all the bad moves, they pivot off them like, this shit ain't working.
But El Cap, it's like being at a job. It's like I'm sure you have, like we all have. You ever been at a job where you don't hate it, but you're like, man, I gotta look for something better. But you kind of stay there and you wait for a different opportunity. You know what I mean? Don't
you go and get a different job though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you don't quit the job you're at. You stay the course. You look for different opportunities. And Tua could be a bridge to that. You see what I'm saying? While you're still being competitive
for $300 million.
I mean, if it's that
I'll
much
tell you
color,
what,
I'm not going to disagree with you.
They draft a quarterback in the first 3 rounds this year. That's a guy that has, eye-popping talent in some facets. We'll say this: mobility and arm strength. I don't need to see anything else. If it's something like that in the first 2 rounds, then maybe I could see what you're talking about.
Right.
But I know this organization,
Right.
and when we talk about being in the hole and not climbing out, it's because they would never draft a fucking quarterback in the first 3 rounds. They won't do that. They will ride this bitch to
You're
the
saying they would never do what the Chiefs did.
They would never do that. They would never do
when they
what the
had Alex
Niners
Smith.
do.
Yeah.
They would never do what the Niners did with Alex Smith. They would have rode Alex Smith until he mangled his fucking leg and never played football again. That's what they would have done. And shout out to Jonathan, who is straight up getting in trouble with his donations
easy.
right now.
Put the cocktails down, Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan's fucking killing it with the donos. You are going to be in so much trouble.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? How is Las Vegas in controlling the entire fucking? Well, it's their fucking. It's where they're hosting it this year, bro. They're fucking the whole deal.
Let me try to go
Hold
on.
on, Mark. Hold on, Mark. Hold on, Mark. I've been trying to jump in, Mark. Hold on. Molly Mall says that Alex Smith was signed at $23 million per year, $70 million guaranteed over 3 years at 32 years old, and that was after a couple years after Tannehill got $90 million. So that was a weak that was a small contract. That was an easy, that didn't hurt them.
The question is, we know what it is though, Color. Like El Cap just said it. Would the Dolphins? Let's just say they did take my model.
Oops.
Would they do what the Packers did and exhibit the patience that the Packers did with Jordan Love? That's an organizational question.
Well, that's what I've been saying. Adopt a Green Bay model from day one. That's what I've been saying.
Bro, but see, that's the thing. Jordan Love is in his second year.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Well,
this isn't Jordan Love's second year. He's in his 4th year right now, or his 5th.
We're going into a 5th year. We're going into a
first full year,
and our coach and quarterback are talking about learning fundamental things to get better.
And that's what has me worried.
It's just
seriously.
I think they should adopt the patient mode.
Build him from scratch.
It's eerily color. It's eerily.
How long does it take the average player to learn their craft from high school to college? Well, usually they have it down by their 3rd year in college.
Well, here, Color.
They tried to trade up for Burrow, Color.
7 years to build a quarterback, and we're at year 5.
There was a rumor they tried to give up 3 or 4 first-round picks.
Here's a good example.
4 first-round picks for Burrow, and the Bengals still turned it down.
To extend plays.
Well, look at it. Remember, it's eerily similar to the Ryan Tannehill debacle we found ourselves in. Every year, we were taking 1 or 2 things, and we're like, if he can get better in these, okay, and he gets better in those, but then it's this one, and then it's that one. Every year, it's like, well, next year he's going to get better in these fundamental quarterback things. Where then I got to look at C.J. Stroud come in, and I promise you this, no fucking Texans fans talking about fundamental bullshit that C.J. Stroud needs to get better at. Like, how are talent evaluators getting it wrong so often, all the time?
Yeah, what tripping me out?
The player personnel department does the problem.
I don't know how to answer that question.
It's a fucking problem. It's a problem.
I'm just saying, they tried to. There was a rumor. It was substantiated by a lot of different news outlets. They were trying like hell to trade up for Burrow. They knew
that was a fact.
They knew
an insane amount of picks.
Yeah, like I heard it got up to 4 first-round picks, and Miami just had to walk away. But they knew Burrow was the better quarterback. Okay,
yeah, they knew. That's why they asked for so much. That's what the Bears are asking for now. They know that one of these quarterbacks that they targeting is worth 4 first-round picks. One of his Drake May or not.
It does start in Pop Warner. There's that Color. Go ahead, Color. I'll let you take this.
Well, that's my point. Is that it takes 8 years to build a fundamental NFL worthy quarterback. We're in year 5, and they're talking about as if we started building him from scratch when he got drafted. Like,
yeah, like we just picked we picked a human athlete and said we're gonna make you into an NFL quarterback. No, this is a guy who had been playing quarterback, throwing with his non-dominant hand his whole fucking life. That's supposedly the left arm of God. That's who we were supposed to get. Now we've waited past the bad injuries. We've waited past the bad coaching. We've waited past the bad personnel and talent. And here we are. And now, yes, we're getting results, the best results out of him we've ever gotten. But I'm sorry, the way in which he played at the passer of quarterback football in the latter part of the season is not going to cut it in a championship single elimination tournament style fucking end to get to the Super Bowl and win it all. It's just not going to happen.
It's
not.
a walled garden, dude. I keep saying it.
Well, Crypto gave a great example about Andy. It's the Andy Dalton thing. It's like everyone thought Andy Dalton was pretty good. It's just, I mean, how far you know what I mean? Can you legitimately
ride that? How many times you got to ride that ship? That hey, we can get in as a wild card and lose to the Ravens. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, and by the way, Jermaine, this is the 5th offseason, the 5th training camp that we're going into. So it's year 5. And going into this training camp, our coach and quarterback have said there are 4 things that Tua needs to work on, okay, and improve. Now, if I don't know what those 4 things are, okay, and we can't say because Tua didn't actually specify. But if you can tell me 4 things other than the 4 things we all know what the hell they are, then I'll listen. Okay? Because I can't think of 4 other things. There's an infinite number of things a quarterback could do, or improve on.
Right.
If you can think of 4 things besides the things that we all know he needs to work on, then I'm listening. Until then, the things that we're talking about, it is ridiculous that our quarterback has to work on those things going into year 5. That is ridiculous as a 5th overall pick.
Damn.
We're not talking about a 7th rounder like Skylar freaking Thompson, who played the Buffalo Bills to 3 points in a playoff game with a wide receiver dropping all the damn footballs.
Damn.
Color, do you think, like, it's not like this, I'm sure other people brought this up, it's not like a profound point, but is it possible that because he had Henry Ruggs, because he had Jalen Waddle, and because he had Devontae Smith, and they're playing these other...
Let's not forget the infamous Alabama defense, too. Because
he's getting Alabama defense. You're asking, Josh, and it's not just possible, it's a reality. Go look at the tape.
That he was overrated. Yeah.
Touchdown everybody revels about that won that game. There's 15 yards of separation.
Right. I don't know. I've thought about that a little bit. I don't know if that's.
And look, this isn't about shitting all over Tua. It's not. And I know that the haters are like these fucking guys every time. It's not about that. It's having realistic expectations with this guy. And the realistic expectation is that his arm is never going to get stronger. He's never going to have the heat on it, and he can't put it on a rope like other quarterbacks can. And that limits the way in which you can pressure a defense. It is. The mobility isn't there, and the arm strength isn't there. So on the defensive front and the defensive secondary and the linebackers and all 3 levels of the defense, those 2 limitations are a harsh reality to work with in the NFL. When so many other teams, typically the ones that find themselves in the winning their divisions and in the first and second rounds of the playoffs, those guys all have that. They can run. They can fucking sling that rock. They're throwing the ball fucking weird as hell. Whatever. And I see other guys with less refined tools that Tua possess that have those talents that I question. Those are the guys I would imagine that you try to coach up, not a guy with limited arm strength and limited mobility.
And that's the thing, bro. Even with the limited arm strength, that to me, I've never jumped on that that on him for that, just simply because when Durham Smythe is wide open at 15 yards, you don't need a strong arm to hit him. If you don't have a strong arm and you're playing this pocket passer role, then you have got to be able to find your open guys.
Well, then for me, when we talk about the few things, the one thing that I believe is holding Tua back the most, it's not arm strength and it's not mobility. I think it's downright toughness. That's what I think is
I hate talking about another man like that. But sometimes I don't know.
I hate talking.
I still want Browning and draft a QB. Yeah, Craig, I'm on that too.
Bro, when you see him wincing and climbing clean pockets, bro, that's PTSD, man.
And listen, I'm not saying that I'm a guy that could withstand fucking 300-pound plus super athletes cracking on me either. So I'm not questioning him man to man. I'm not.
Right.
That's not what this is about, and I don't mean it to belittle his toughness because there's a sense of toughness just being out on the field that the regular average guy can't.
No, Cap, we know it hurts.
It hurts. I listen. I put the hits, and I've got my bell fucking rung too. Okay, but guess what? Again,
we cannot afford to run our organization like the Gators. You cannot be doing that. We're running our organization like the Florida Gators.
What the point of it is? The point of it is
like
that
the Hurricanes.
At least the Florida Gators had Anthony Richardson.
Oh, damn. I didn't know Shake Money was up there.
And Q is absolutely right. It's tough being. That's why we're not trying to throw shade on him.
That's what I'm saying.
About these things without seeming like we're trying to emasculate.
That's right.
The guy.
I'm not trying to emasculate the guy by any stretch, but that bit of toughness to hang in the pocket, knowing you're gonna take the hit, because you know you need that half a fucking second longer to get to wait to throw the ball or step into it, knowing that I'm going to step up and put myself right where the D tackle is going to be able to crack me right in the face, but that's because I'm going to deliver a fucking heater 38 yards down the field on a rope. You know what I'm saying? Like those types of things, the business decisions, which I understand why he's making them. It's not just about fucking how much it hurts, but there's business decisions that are behind that as well. There's ulterior motives for him personally. But that doesn't serve me in my fucking deal. It doesn't serve what I want, and I don't give a fuck about all that other shit. I want a damn Super Bowl. That's what I want.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So that's why, to me, not paying Tua will force him to have to play lights out and force him to take those hits and really give us the answer we need the most. Not can he stay healthy 17 games. Can he stay healthy taking the fucking shots it's going to take to win big football games for 17 plus games? That's what we need to fucking know.
That's it.
Boom.
Yeah.
Because any motherfucker, I'll be healthy as fuck on the bench 17 games, dog. I'm healthy as fuck.
I knew he was going to be able to play all the games. It's just a matter of playing the big games and the big moments.
I
was confident he was going to finish the season.
Almost sound like we're talking about Tony Romo.
That's it.
Well, I mean, you got. Think about it. You got the guy does commercials, like self-deprecating commercials, right?
No, and I love it.
And that, well, fine, yeah. But then you got him doing stuff with Daniel Jones, like putting himself in that class, and Darius Rucker, who wrote a song about the depression that the Miami Dolphins caused him. You can't make this shit up, man.
Wait a minute. What did I miss? Hold on. Somebody wrote a song.
Wait a minute.
What did I miss?
That's from Hootie and the Blowfish. Are you about Hootie and the Blowfish, Darius Rucker?
Yeah, that's Hootie and the Blowfish. Yeah.
He wrote a song about the Dolphins causing depression.
He's talking about our Dolphins. He's a Dolphins.
Yeah, he's a Dolphins fan.
I never knew that. Wow.
Well, I know he's a Dolphins fan, but I didn't know.
I didn't know that. That's crazy, color. I didn't know that.
Right. But what about the whole Daniel Jones thing? He's working out with Daniel Jones now.
I hope not.
Well, Joe Riss was
Yep.
saying he's I guess
on
the
mute.
video he did with Darius Rucker has Daniel Jones in it too.
It's two quarterbacks that are getting the same, hopefully, amount of money. That's what we're looking at.
Both of them.
That's what their correlation here.
Do you guys really think? I mean,
you're saying remember Daniel Jones,
Getting
remember
the same
before.
amount. So $45 million
is Tua going to
each
get
year
like
for 2 years?
Is Tua really going to get like a
114
6-year,
guaranteed.
$300 million contract?
No, but
No,
like-
don't
there's
believe in that, man.
there's
That's
a
nonsense.
there's
With
a
200
highly-
guaranteed?
Just to report it
Listen,
correctly,
from what I-
Acho suggested 5 years, $325 million.
I expect it to not
Wait a
be
minute.
like that. I
Acho
expect
is
a
a-
4
Emmanuel
year-
Acho said 5 years, 320.
Buffalo Bills and Jets fans should be
That was
happy
a
about
lie,
that.
Color.
They just
I don't think
sealed them as
Acho really
permanent
said that.
division winners from now until
Well, I
2035.
didn't look into it deeply, Cap. I'm just
Jesus
saying what
Christ.
was supposedly said. I was being accurate about what was supposedly said. I don't know if he actually said it or not either. That's not confirmed. But the words were 5 years, $325 million. Whoever perpetrated that, whether it was Acho or not, that's what the words were.
Well, take it with a grain
63,
of salt with Acho.
64, was that probably then 180 or 200 guaranteed?
It's ridiculous, is whatever it is.
It's a ridiculous
Yeah,
amount. I don't think that's real.
He's definitely
I don't think-
trolling
I
if he
think
said
that's a
300.
That's
lie.
an AAV of like
No,
15
because
more
if
than
they felt-
Mahomes,
if they
dude.
felt that
Josh Allen
strongly
didn't even
about-
get freaking
No, if
300
they felt
from the
that
Bills.
strongly about Tua after this
Fucking
year's
nuts.
performance, they would have given him that money last
You
year.
guys didn't even pay your quarterback that.
No,
What
I
the
think
hell?
Allen. Yeah, I don't know. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
and if they were willing to spend $325
Allen got like
million, we
two
would have bought
something,
2
270
Lamar
something.
Jacksons.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. 300, and then Allen didn't even do that. And you guys won a division like I don't
See,
know. I got lost
their
track of count.
delusion. Their
What the hell?
delusion is still that he's better than Watson, and Watson got 300 and something. That's their delusion, Crypto. Because think about it.
Yeah,
At
I guess that's what they're going
325
by.
million, you could almost
Which
get
is-
2 Lamar Jacksons. Why would we give him that money if we weren't
Yes.
willing to give him that last year?
This
Or
quarterback
give Lamar
market,
Jackson that.
this quarterback
Right,
market
we
is
weren't even
so
going to give
it's
Lamar that. Yeah, right.
Because guess
exactly.
what? Because guess what? If we went to Lamar Jackson after the Ravens offered him 176 and we offered him 325, Lamar Jackson would be wearing aqua and orange right now.
It's true.
Yeah.
So you're not going
Right.
to tell me we're going to turn
It's fucking
around
true.
and give Tua that kind of money.
It's
You're
true.
absolutely off your rocker.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen. but
right.
Here's the
Because Lamar
deal.
would
It
have
doesn't
definitely
really
got that
matter.
amount of money.
It doesn't
a lot
really
of Rolls
matter.
Royce.
It doesn't really matter what the money
Damn.
is because the money's going to guarantee 3 years of Tua no matter what. That meaning 2024, 2025, 2026. And
They're not willing to
that'll
be patient
give
and make him earn
that
it then, huh?
contract being signed will give Mike McDaniel 2024 and probably 2025. And if they don't have the success in 2025, because they could tee up,
Wow.
defense
34
one more
extra
time.
games
They
out of
can
my
they
life
can
that we
tee
have
they
to
can
wait.
tee up the defense excuse one more time. They've already got it teed up right now by switching the entire defensive coaching staff and going to be losing some talent. So that's already teed up for an excuse next year. They could then pivot one more time and then also reset one more time. So they could blame the defense one more. They could then ride it out for 2025 with the same offensive coaching staff. Then they could do the reset where they're going to still build around the same
Well, we're
quarterback
going to
and
use
see.
money to pay other
And
players
then in
to build the team, Cap.
2027, we're looking at a hopefully trade Tua.
$300 million.
They've crossed paths where they need to separate now. It's best for both. Tua didn't find success in Miami. Dolphins didn't find success with Tua. Let's start it all over. And that's where we'll find ourselves in a stopgap year
Well,
in 2027.
if they
And I'll be 475 years old the next time
Hey,
we
maybe they're
restart
putting
this.
the learning. Maybe what the
Exactly.
holdup is that they're putting the learning clauses in the contract, like they tried to do with Kyler Murray, and that's what the holdup is.
You got to do your homework.
Cap. Cap. If they sign Tua to $300 million, that's not only a team-friendly deal for the Dolphins. That's actually a team-friendly deal for the Buffalo Bills. That just assured their dominance for the next 3 years
That's
at
right.
a minimum.
It's why
because we ain't got no more room to pay players.
It's why
to
there's
help,
two
help
Bills
the
fans
team.
on the panel trying to get us to sign this
That's
guy.
That's not a
No, don't put that on me, LCAT. I have integrity, LCAT. God damn it.
That's why they're trying to get us to sign this fucking.
I got integrity.
I would
God
totally
damn it.
sign him to 5 years right now.
Crypto, remember what I've always said though, that they basically are teaching him how to drive on a Ferrari. Will he be able to now? And that's easy once you master. It's like, oh, it does it for you. But can you now? Have you been able to learn enough to implement those driving skills with a Chevette?
Yeah.
Because that's what you're going to need to do, and that's what Patrick Mahomes does. He drives that Chevette so well that he can beat the Ferraris on the oval.
Well, Mahomes is a chameleon,
You know what I mean?
Right?
Mahomes is he can play any type of game you want. He scramble. He'll scramble for 100 yards. He can
Mahomes
be
is the true salamander of this
Keep it on the driving analogy. He's literally using a piece of crap car and out driving everybody on the track that's got Ferraris.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Yep.
I consider Mahomes a genius.
Everybody.
That's what Tua's going to have to do.
It's fucked up. Why I gotta suffer?
No, hold on. His fans pushed us into this situation. Okay, we give him the bag. Well, guess what? Now you're going to have to drive the Chevette, buddy. Let's see how good you really are.
Who did the Dolphins draft in 17? Who did they draft in 17?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Who do we draft? We're drafting a defensive tackle. That's who we're drafting.
We're drafting
in 2017. Who did they draft?
We're gonna
you guys remember?
2017? Oh, I don't remember.
I need backup for Ferguson.
Put the football where your pocket is, on the money.
I'm just saying, Color. I think Mahomes.
If our offense continues,
he's like the Bobby Fischer of fucking quarterback.
I think we need a long snapper because we're gonna need him because the Ferguson's gonna get worn out from snapping that ball too much. So we're gonna need depth at the long snapper position.
Yeah, Jonathan's 100%. If we got everybody from Florida, California, and Texas on our football team, we'll probably be all right.
Yeah, we'd be totally undisciplined, but we'd definitely get the job done.
We would fucking win some football games, and it'd be fun, too. We'd always have to deal with off-season
we're already
arrests.
totally undisciplined, so what's the difference, right?
Oh, Charles Harris in 2017. That's right, X Factor. Yeah, that was why it was a fucking absolute shit
Crypto,
show.
You know what? That was probably our best draft pick of all time. Go ahead. What'd you say, Josh?
You know how you said it's going to be a long off season? Remember those double 4 to 8s in the Navy and the Coast Guard? It's going to be a lot. Get the coffee ready. It's going to be like the double 4 to 8 watches there. It's going to be a long off season.
Yeah, Jermaine, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
They just
too.
won't get off that $60 million a year mark, dude.
That's what it's going to be, Color. Well, the 250
I would rather
million.
do 5 years. Like I do 5 years for $200 million. That's what I would do.
It's
and
not
make
gonna
a bunch
happen.
of it guaranteed if you want. I don't care. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be that number right there, a 4-year, $250 million, $260 million extension. Depending on
That's crazy, man.
That's what it's going to be, bro.
If we front load that enough, it won't hurt us because you figure if we give them 100,
we're not front loading the first year, Color, because it's gonna.
No, what I'm saying is front loading as far as if we give them, $50 million,
47 of that guaranteed. I'm okay. If it's guaranteed for 1 year, I'm okay.
What I'm saying is if we give them like a $75 million signing bonus and guarantee like 150 of that. And give it to him in a check right out of freaking Ross's pocket, then you're only on the hook for another, $100 million for over 4 years.
That's you still listen.
Something we could get out of.
The guaranteed money gets broken up over the remaining years depending on what you put on cap. So like you can have say 12 million to it,
right,
and then every year. Hold on, just listen. Okay. So every year they're gonna give him 75 up front, and then he's essentially the next 3 years gonna get say 30 each of those years to get him to his full amount, right? So, but that 75, you've now only put 12 of it on year one. You're now gonna have to break the remaining 75, which we'll call 60, okay, so, over the next 3 years. So you're now gonna have to take 20 million in each of those years and spread it out. Now you can say I want only 10 this year and 30 next year and 40 the following year. You could do it that way, but you also then have to add the $25 million every year you're going to have to pay him.
Right.
So now your cap goes to say, yeah, you're only going to pay him $37 million next year against cap, but the following year it's now at 49, and the following year after that it's at 58. Right. That's how it's done, and that's what they do. But
and what about the under the table bonus money? Is that on your cap? I mean, is there a way
it's
to
not.
total?
It's not.
Is there a way to take some of that
so like if it's postseason, cap hits, correct? Say he wins MVP and that's a $10 million. Well, that $10 million that you had to pay him for the MVP gets put on next year's fucking cap cost.
Right.
So if he wins MVP and hits an incentive and got $10 million extra dollars outside of the guarantee, that then now where you were going to pay $58 million, now you got to pay the motherfucker $68 million because he was MVP, which is a problem I think most teams are willing to deal with. But
these quarterback contracts, they got to do something. Quick. It's just fucking ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, it's gotten out of control.
It's just out of control.
V21 said make him play on his 5th year. I totally agree with that. What I'm doing, V21, is I'm saying, okay, fine. If they're going to be hell-bent on doing this, I'll talk about it in a sensible way. Since I'm always wrong about what the Dolphins are going to do, maybe that means they'll actually play him on his 5th year.
What if Tua doesn't want to do it, though?
Yeah, if he does, then I'll tell you what, Josh Allen, if Tua doesn't want to play on his 5th year, you have your fucking answer anyhow. That's what I see. If he doesn't want to play on his 5th year, you have your answer with the quarterback anyhow. That's why I say you make him play.
Yeah, call his
because
bluff,
if he tries to, I'm not going to play, or if he goes down with quote unquote injury, like some of these other players do on their 5th year options, then you know what
the other thing, Cap, is and I just saw a report today. And people want to act like it's not a big deal or not a reality, but this is why Roger Goodell keeps getting extended. The salary cap is going to increase next year by quite a bit.
A lot,
so if he balls out, we've got that covered, that extra covered. It's not, and if he is that guy, so the fuck what? Then you pay him. That means he can drive with a Chevette.
Guess what? If he is the guy, then you can give him 5 years, and now you have him for a decade.
Exactly.
Now you've got him for a decade.
And if
I don't
he's
understand why that's a problem.
the
guy you pay. The guy you don't worry about what it costs or how it works. You don't give a shit. You pay him.
I don't think it's in Tua's nature to hold out. You can call his bluff real easy.
Listen, one thing you don't realize, if he does hold out, that gives Chris Greer a get out of free jail card to cut him or trade him.
Exactly. We got all the leverage if he does.
That's why I'm saying that's why Tua wouldn't do it. They can call us bluff
because there's nobody in the league. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I understand the whole everybody gets behind the athlete these days, but there's nobody that's going to get behind Tua in the NFL based on his performance, other than the teams that play him because they'll want us to sign him.
I'm just saying, get ready for the Tuaneers to just do an all-out fucking propaganda fucking campaign.
If he balls out and turns out to be the guy, if he balls out, hold on. If he balls out and turns out to be elite, and we've just been missing it this whole time.
Remember 2003 shock and awe? It's going to be Tuaneers shock and awe.
What's that going to be? If he ends up being elite and being the guy, and changing all of our minds, right? What's that going to be? An extra $100 million? I mean, so the fuck what?
There is no way in hell. There is no way in hell. And that's the only reason I even came up here. There is no way in God's green earth that Tua Tagovailoa is getting 4 years at $250 million.
Oh yeah, dog.
There is no way.
That is an insane contract.
That is insane. There is no way in hell that is
madness if they do that, man. That is some next level stuff.
Bro, again, is that comes out to $60 million a year?
Chris Greer is definitely on the cocaine.
You got it right. It's
Chris Greer is definitely on the cocaine.
That's what it come out to do. That's what it come out to, Lewis.
If Burrow and Lamar bro, there's no way in hell. Let's stop the cap. That's
an insane number. For 4 years.
Damn. They gave it to Herbert, though, Lewis. They gave it to Herbert.
Lou. You need to stop.
No, I don't think his was 4. I think his was 5 years, Josh.
You live in a
I think they spread it out over 5 years
think
for him.
That's not what's going to happen. If they do, listen, now they can let him ride the 5,
but still a lot.
Or they're gonna pay him, and if they gonna pay him, it's gonna be $250 million fucking
I
dollars.
think no. I think they're gonna pay him,
need
but
to
I don't
do
think
what
it's gonna be $250 million. They no.
I think you're wrong. I think it'll.
They
I
need
think
to base everybody's contract
I
under
bet you the contract
the king,
will
which
be,
is Mahomes.
I will
They need
bet
to
you
start
this.
from there.
Look, the contract will be something 240 to 260. I'm leaning closer to 260, and I guarantee that it'll be 175 to 195. Guaranteed.
Well, Cap, let me ask
Where
you
you
this,
getting these
because I
numbers
think
from, Crap?
Well, yeah, that was another question. But hold on, Michael K. Let me ask you this, Cap, because I heard before I came up you were explaining the color, but I think color was in the same Twitter space that I was, and I heard, and again, I'm just asking, so don't quote me on it. But the Lamar Jackson deal, right? If you look at it, I think it was 91 million, fully guaranteed. But then I guess from what I don't know if color remembers, but they said at signing when Lamar signed that contract, the Ravens gave him 135 of that up front.
Now, does that go against their cap? That's what I'm wondering.
So that 135, they get, by paying it up front, they get to choose in how, say it's a 5-year deal, right?
How it's distributed.
They get to choose in which that 135 is spread out over that 5 years.
So it will hit their cap. They just have to decide how to do it.
Yes, they choose.
But they said, supposedly the guy said that the Raven, it's real team friendly. And now the Ravens basically, they only have like $58 million left. So there's like an out. They within 2 years, they can get out that contract.
Right.
So then they're going to front. Then they're going to pay him. They're going to pay against their cap. Now, they can get out of the contract, yes, but they can also carry dead cap money into future years.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's how you're paying Tannehill $12 million, $13 million to be somewhere else.
And the overarching point that I was making was, if we were going to give a quarterback $325 million, we would have just snagged Lamar away from the Ravens and given him a better than his team-friendly deal.
Yeah. And that report today, I put it in the thing, just having fun. That $325 million, that shit ain't happening either.
No, that shit ain't happening. No,
that's a pipe dream.
Nah, that's even more.
That ain't happening.
That's actually more than freaking Mahomes.
I don't think 250 is happening. I really.
I'll tell you what. Tua wins the division and wins a playoff game or something like that. Finds us in the AFC Championship, riding out his 5th-year option. Then those conversations become a little bit more real. They could say, hey, look, we're going to extend him for 6 years, $325 million.
I think every contract should be
200 guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to spread it out over these next 6 years, and we're going to retool this football team. And that would be a smart move to do.
And if that happens, if he, like, let's say this year, whoa, man, color was wrong all this whole time. He's driving this Chevette, circles around people with this Chevette, right? Like I said, what's that going to cost us extra? We're really paranoid about it adding another $100 million to what he is owed if he balls out. Like, play him on the 5th year.
I would agree. Play him on his 5th year, but I'm thinking that I'm talking about guaranteed money, because again, the only reason I came up, I seen 4 years, $250 million. In my opinion, I don't think that's happening.
Well, again, I'm amicable to that number, Lewis. But I was asking, how can we mitigate the cap hit?
Well, no.
You know what I mean?
Well, and again, that's fine. That's your opinion. I'm not
guaranteed if it's that amount.
I'm not good with that number of $250 million. Well, again, I would have to see the guarantees,
because at least 200 is going to have to be guaranteed.
It's the cap hit that makes it tough. I don't care if Ross wants to spend his fun money, his fuck you money on a bad quarterback. I don't care if that's what he wants to do. I'm more concerned with how we're going to be hamstrung by it and how long we're going to be hamstrung by it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
If they want to go outrageous like that, fine. I'm amicable to that. But how do we mitigate some of that 200?
Well, but you get rid of, because it's the guaranteed money.
You're getting rid of good players to do that.
We got to stop worrying about the $250 million. What I worry about is the guaranteed money. And Lamar got 191. I think Jalen Hurts got
So it's that
185.
guaranteed that's
Right.
going to hit your
185.
cap.
Yeah, it's in the
basically.
180.
That guaranteed is what's hitting your cap, Color. Don't worry. Again, it's the guaranteed money. If Lamar got 191 fully guaranteed and Jalen Hurts got 185, when I look at that situation, Lamar had one MVP and at least one playoff victory, right? Jalen Hurts got that back after he went to a Super Bowl. Tua Tagovailoa has to be under that 185 mark, fully guaranteed.
Yeah, that's a good barometer to set, right?
There's
Yeah,
no
he has to
way
be
in
beneath that,
hell.
right?
I think
That's a
the
good point,
Chargers.
Lewis. Yeah.
I think the Chargers messed up.
Listen,
giving
I
Herbert
agree with
218.
you, Lou.
Chargers and the
Lou,
Giants.
I
Yeah,
agree
you're right,
with
Lou.
you in premise.
I can go with that, Lewis. Yeah, it has to be under that
but
number.
here's something I've been saying as of recent. What does the Dolphins' upper management prioritize? Is it winning football games or is it a sellable, billable product?
Well, I think, listen, to be fair, right? And again, I've been taking a little break. I started a new job, so it's been hectic. But I will say this. I agree that they should play him on the 5th-year option. And I think, let me just throw this scenario at everybody, right? Let's say there's questions in Chris Greer and Stephen Ross's office when they're talking, right? Tom Garfinkel, the upper brass, let's say they're all sitting in a room. And the conversations are, man, you got Belichick out there. He's free right now. You got a guy like Mike Vrabel. He's on the market. Doesn't look like, again, there's no jobs available. Looks like they're going to sit out a year. If there's any questions on Mike McDaniel, right, between Greer or Ross or whoever in the building, if there's a inkling of any doubt that he might not be returning after the 3rd year, depending on, what happens next year, why would you give Tua the bag? Because if, from my understanding, right, Mike McDaniel was brought in here not only to fix the offense, but to fix Tua. They're kind of married at the hip. Well, why am I going to sign Tua for 4 or 5 years if I'm already having initial conversations that maybe Mike McDaniel's not here after year 3?
Lou,
Right.
Because, Lou,
Yeah,
that's how you pivot the
If
narrative.
they married at the
though,
hip, right?
A quarterback
Hence they
rarely
got-
survives one
Yeah.
regime change. He ain't going to survive 2.
Right.
So
why would we
So they'll definitely force him to
bound
play the 5th
ourselves
year
with all
in
that money to
scenario,
a guy
Lewis.
that the next coach ain't going to want?
Yeah, in that scenario, they forcing them to play his 5th year.
We could be looking at a scenario, right, where they let Tua play out on the 5th-year option because it's a 1-year deal for Tua and McDaniel. Now you get us to a divisional round. Let's say you get Kansas City or Buffalo in the divisional round and you lose 31-28. Everything looks good and stuff. Okay, Tua, maybe you deserve the contract. Mike McDaniel, you deserve, hey, you got us here. Or an AFC championship game. Okay, cool. We'll start talking about extensions for the quarterback and moving on with Mike McDaniel in the future. But I don't know, fellas. The longer this thing plays out and we don't hear no contract, could it be that there's initial
discussing that?
Could it be discussions about Mike McDaniel's future?
I mean, the Dolphins obviously have to be
meaning that he's on the hot seat officially.
The fact that it hasn't already happened, I mean, the Dolphins have to be agreeing with what we're actually seeing underlying the statistics. You know what I mean? Because look, if you ask the average person, NFL fan, executive, whatever, their opinion, they would laugh at you about giving Tua the bag right now. Let's be real. I'm talking about water cooler. I'm not talking about pull him up on an interview on NFL Today and ask him. I'm talking about go to the water cooler with anybody that watches football.
There would be
not going to
skepticism.
give Tua the bag.
Well, yeah, there's a different type of discussion.
I'm fine. Like I said, I'm fine with an extension, but that extension, the guaranteed money, again, I'm looking at Jalen Hurts, and I'm not trying to get into the debate what quarterback's better, but I'm just looking at from what my eyes showed me, Jalen Hurts' team played in a Super Bowl. He got $185 fully guaranteed dollars. Tua has to be under that because Tua hasn't won a division. Tua's never been in a Super Bowl. You want to give that young man a contract? I'm indifferent to it. But it cannot be
just
200, 205. It can't be, you're not going to get fully guaranteed money more than what these other guys that have. Again, now Lamar has 2 MVPs. guys
Yeah,
have,
and you've got a guy that everybody laughs at and calls trash compared to Tua, who is 2-1 in the playoffs. That's consistently winning in the playoffs with two different teams.
And by the way,
and every team
Baker,
he goes
Baker
to,
Mayfield, or
shitting on him.
who are you talking
I don't
about?
know how much money golf is. I don't know how much golf is getting.
Everybody knows who I'm talking about.
And by the way,
about Baker Mayfield.
they got into
he's been to have shit on him while he's won playoff games with both fucking teams.
I don't understand the Baker. I've always, I don't.
By the way, they got until March 13th to extend him.
Everybody needs to get paid less than Mahomes. I'm telling you that much. If you get more Mahomes, it's egregious. It's egregious. Everybody's supposed to be less than Mahomes.
Look,
I will say this.
The thing about Baker Mayfield is people can talk about their eye test and what they think about the guy compared to Tua all they want. But if Mike Glennon was 2-1 in the playoffs, I'd be calling for his ass too.
The giraffe? Well, damn. The giraffe is doing it.
But the only argument I have against Baker Mayfield, right? And I'm not trying to shit on the season he had or the playoff win he had with Cleveland. But and this is just the way my head thinks. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying anybody else is wrong. But when I look at it, why the fuck would I try to get rid of Tua to bring in a guy I believe is just like Tua?
But that's the exact point I'm trying to make, Lewis. That's the exact
point. Saying as far as making the pay equivalent, making the pay similar.
It's the
let
same.
me hold on, Color. If I may,
all right.
the Baker Mayfield Tua Tagovailoa debacle scenario discussion, everything is the chicken and the egg. It really is. It's just a reincarnation of the chicken and the egg fable.
Right,
you
but
say. Do you bring in with the Baker Mayfield and a Tua? They're too similar. You're better off keeping the one you're with, but the other one is cheaper. And so, if the other one is cheaper, then why not pay Tua the amount of Baker Mayfield?
Similar, yeah.
Let's take
Baker's times whatever what he getting.
The only reason I even bring the guy up is because they have such a disparity in their opinion of the two quarterbacks.
I know, and that's kind of the point. When the reality is that productively and in game, they're pretty similar.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's why similar. Yeah,
they're pretty similar. I would say. I think
that's
there's
what
a little bit more. There's a little bit more moxie slash.
Pay him similar to that, like maybe $47 million in
Baker. That they could win games with, and then on the flip side with Tua, you have a little bit more of game plan scripted type of shit.
It's a trifecta, because when we sit here and compare, and when somebody brings up Lamar Jackson and our overarching goals of going to the Super Bowl, they actually try to frame it as a way that because he hasn't because he's choked so far in the playoffs, that somehow Tua is going to get to the Super Bowl because of that.
Tua, yes, they're hyperbolic.
And hold on,
that's where they're wrong.
That's right. They're like,
they can't do that.
That's where they're wrong.
That's where they're fucking way wrong, Lou.
That's where they're wrong.
This is where the trifecta comes in, because they just say, you know what, Color? It don't matter what you say. Lamar loses playoff games and won't get to the big dance. Okay, fine. Baker Mayfield,
it's saying the same thing about Josh Allen too, but continue.
Mayfield is 2-1 in the playoffs with two separate football teams. What's the common denominator? Baker fucking Mayfield.
Absolutely. I see, and I would agree with that, right? I think he is 2-2, Shake. But for me, this is where when I hear the Baker Mayfield, and again, I'm just speaking for myself.
I know he'll never go farther than he has.
It's more of a lateral move. You don't want a lateral move.
I know he'll never go further than he has. I'm not trying to make a case for that.
So hold on.
I'm not saying
we're shitting on a man, and we're talking about giving this guy 250 fucking.
Go ahead, Lou. Go ahead, Lou.
Color, trust me, I'm not trying to shit. Again, I think Baker Mayfield played one hell of a season, right? All I'm saying is when I look at Tua this season, has two dynamic weapons on the outside, had a running game, had this, had the defense, right? Couldn't get over the hump. When I look at Baker Mayfield's situation in Cleveland, right? Had OBJ, had Jarvis Landry, had Nick Chubb, had Kareem Hunt, had Myles Garrett, had, great defenses and offensive line was good.
And
Didn't
what
get
happened?
over the hump.
What did the Browns do though, Lou? They rode the 5th year and then moved off the guy for a free
moved off
agent
him after the
quarterback.
5th year.
And
That's the model we must use, Cap. Good point. We have our model right there.
And absolutely.
Make him play the 5th year, and then if he don't perform, move off of him. Yeah.
And that's fine, right? And Cap is dead on, spot on, right. I'm not saying he's wrong. All I'm saying is, for me, I'm only speaking for myself again. Why would I? It's a lateral move. It's not. There's no upgrade there.
I wouldn't
do it.
It's
just
no. He's
no,
just
I'm not saying
here's
color.
the better
I'm not
question.
saying you, color. I'm
Here's
just
the better
saying,
question.
Why would I go from Tua to Tua?
So
you see what I'm saying?
No, you wouldn't.
Right. You would just go from Tua to Tua when it comes to the pay.
So, but hold on. We're talking in a paradigm where all things are equal. And here's the deal, right?
You don't change quarterback.
Q says, "I'll take Tua over Baker." Take that narrative, shove it up your ass.
Here's
the deal. Do you take? Hold on, color. Do you take Tua?
2-1.
Do you take
2-1? Q.
I got you. But do you take Tua at $50 million a year or Baker at $25 million a year? And that is where the decision.
Hey Q, would you take Mason Rudolph or
That's
Baker?
where it becomes painfully clear.
Cap, you just asked the right question because this is where I want to get in. Okay. Are we back to we only want to buy a playoff win? Or are we back to building a Super Bowl contender? Because we started this night arguing with CB83 about taking baby steps.
Who?
Yeah.
But what was the baby
He's
step?
the legend of film breakdown.
The Texans were one game away from the
he's the legend. He's the legend of
That's a
film
giant
breakdown.
fucking baby step. The Texans took a fucking leap. Fucking baby step.
I don't know who that guy is. He was just in chat talking shit.
Hey, he's the legend of film breakdown, Lewis. That's who he is.
The fucking Texans.
And I
took a Bigfoot fucking step.
Can I please make my point?
Yeah, that was more than baby steps.
Go ahead, Color.
My point is, we started off the night arguing about baby steps, and I was saying, no, you build a Super Bowl contender and you win and lose on the way. And other people say, no, you build a playoff contender and you get knocked out the first round, then you win one, then by year 3 you might blah blah blah, right? Well, Baker Mayfield will purchase you that. If that's all we wanted was one playoff game, Baker Mayfield is 2-1.
Guess what? The Color's point, the purchase of Baker bought fucking Tampa one and not us.
What do you all want?
Get a playoff win with a damn coupon.
Yeah, I need a coupon playoff win.
Well, Q said he'd rather have Mason Rudolph over Tua.
Well, can I just respond to something that Cap just said now, right? Because Cap, I thought I heard you just say it got Tampa 1, right?
It did.
Okay, perfect. Now, the only thing I would say, the only pushback I have, that is a half truth, right? It got Tampa 1. But to get into the playoffs, they had 9 wins. So if you, let's just say, put the Buccaneers in the AFC East, they don't get 1. You see what I'm saying?
But that's because they're a 9-win team.
Yeah, but that's all relative, dog.
Because you got to take about the schedule, Lewis.
You know damn
who
well
they beat in our division.
I can't do that.
You know damn well Jacksonville had 9 wins this season. They didn't get in the AFC playoffs.
I got you, but who's to say if you put Baker on this team, we didn't get 10 wins and just get in the playoffs with 10 fucking wins just like that. And win a fucking playoff game, dog.
If Baker Mayfield,
I bet you we don't lose to Tennessee the way we did.
Well,
I bet you we don't lose to Tennessee the way we did.
Well,
I would say this.
I
bet you there was more passing yards in that Kansas City loss in the playoffs. I guarantee that.
Well, again, I've never watched a game, and at the end of the game, the announcers say the team with the most passing yards won the game. So all
Yeah.
that
Well,
shit is
another
cute.
thing, Louis.
That shit don't matter.
Well,
I want to
They
say
would have
something
lost.
else
Well,
about
kind
They
of.
would have
besides the
lost.
It
Those
certainly
passing yards
is the
they
way
get
of the
don't win.
NFL
game.
now, Lou.
Besides the Tennessee game, okay, if you don't think we would have put 70 points on the Broncos just the same, just remember that Baker Mayfield put 56 on a team in relief for Matt Stafford last year with the Los Angeles Rams.
With only like 2 weeks of practice too.
Yeah, he did.
Dude,
Yeah, that's why
he came off the couch. He came off the couch and put up 56 damn points.
Well,
all the teams that we
when I hear
beat,
Baker Mayfield though,
Baker
when I hear Baker, well, no, we didn't beat Buffalo. Baker didn't beat Buffalo. So
he almost
there's one
did.
right there. Well, again, are we? So almost. I almost won the lottery last night, Crypto, but I woke up this morning. The numbers were wrong.
Okay,
what are you
Louis,
talking about?
again,
Almost.
He was competitive against them.
Like, come on, I don't want to hear no almost, Crypto. Stop.
Okay, all the teams that we beat, Baker beat is what I'm saying.
Getting spun out again. Let me reiterate my point, Louis. If all of these people that want to make excuses for our mid quarterback are saying all we want is a playoff win, we can purchase one for $40 million with Baker Mayfield. That's not good enough for me.
Maybe.
I'm quite sure Baker Mayfield has beaten the Jets and Patriots before in his career.
That's not a Super Bowl contender.
Sure.
And as long as we remain with Tua, we are not a Super Bowl contender.
And that might very well be the case. What I'm saying is,
I'm not even sure we're a playoff contender.
And again, that's fair enough to say as well. What I'm saying is, if insert Baker Mayfield, and I don't give a damn if you're paying them $10. We're not a Super Bowl contender. We're not a playoff contender.
Yes, we're just a playoff contender, Lord. Well, you're right. Nobody disagreed. We're just saying that we're status quo where we are today.
You're getting right to my point. It does buy you that precious baby step that everybody wants Tua to take.
Oh shit! Color with the slam dunk. He kind of has it on that.
No, hell no. Let me wiggle my way out of that. If CB83 was the one talking about baby steps, don't associate me with that bullshit. I'm telling you right now.
No, but he's the mood.
Who?
No, he's the mood of the average Tua near.
Yeah,
bro.
CB83 and Batman, they're on the pulse of Tua.
Yeah, baby steps. You got to take baby
man,
steps.
Stop.
You got to take baby steps.
I've heard that whoever that guy is, I don't know him, but I seen him around. All I know, I heard that guy say he wants Justin Fields. He's not a Tua near no more. Y'all giving that man too much credit.
He wants Justin Fields?
He said baby
that
steps.
man's stupid as fuck.
He definitely said baby steps. You're right.
That man was on the AFC East roundtable like 3 weeks ago. Whenever his dad told him to clock in, whenever that was, he was on that show. He was on that show, and TD and some other guy that was up there. I don't know.
Fight back, CB. Fight back.
Shout out to him. They were talking about Tua deserves under $30 million, and CB said, "Yes, I agree." The film is out there. The eye in the sky don't lie, like CB likes to say. So CB's not a Tua guy. All I'm saying is, again, I understand what Color's point is. You know, the less money. I hear Cat. I understand.
Shit got real.
All I'm saying, well, you know, when I get up here, Cap, shit gets real.
I mean, overall, in the macro, Louis, you're absolutely right. Baker Mayfield is no different than Tua. You're absolutely
Baker Mayfield can play off script.
And that's where, again, you can play off script all you want.
All right, now hold up real quick. Hold up real quick.
Hold on a second.
Let me hit you with this. I think we can all agree Tua and Baker Mayfield are not of the ilks of Patrick Mahomes in quality, correct? But are either one in the realm of the Brock Purdy, right? Wouldn't you say that is the method in which they're going to try to get? Well, here's the deal. Brock Purdy is in the Super Bowl tomorrow. How? Not because he's an elite quarterback, but because his cap hit allows the team to put more money around him. And when you measure
$900,000 a year right
Baker
now.
Mayfield,
not $50 million.
All things being equal, holla for a dollar is what we gotta get.
Because he's a fucking rookie.
Wiggle, my guy, wiggle.
What was that, Color?
You got
wiggle, dog.
I can't hear.
Wiggle.
What you say? Wait a minute, I didn't hear you.
The fact of the matter is Brock Purdy. That's it's cute to say, right? And he has a team around him, and he's on a rookie deal. But let's not get mistaken. In 2 years from now, Brock Purdy, that same guy that we're talking about that's in the Super Bowl, let's see him do it when, again, he's making 50, 55, 60 million dollars.
Lewis, again, to my
that's nice to say now.
Right, Lewis, where I was just trying to go with that is that let's see him do it against the playoff postseason caliber.
Here's
Kansas
the deal,
City
though.
Chiefs.
Here's the deal. Both you boys is forgetting about.
Hold on, because
he'll get the 50 mil, right?
Tua beat the Detroit Lions last year too.
I got you, but
so what? Brock Purdy took advantage of a Dan Campbell mistake to get into
Brock
the Super Bowl.
Purdy will get paid not for what he could do, but for what he's done. He got to the Super Bowl. They've won their division. They've gotten deep in the playoffs, and if they fucking win this Super Bowl, then guess what?
Right.
He's worth whatever they lose.
And absolutely right. But now, Cap, let me ask you, and I want you to be honest, right? Let's not be PC. Let's not be political, right?
Okay.
Did Brock Purdy lead the 49ers to the Super Bowl, or did the 49ers lead Brock Purdy to the Super Bowl? Which one?
The
49ers
led Brock Purdy. Let's call it for what it is, dog.
Okay, so then what are we talking about? We're coming out here and it just
I'm
sounds
saying
like
how did the 49ers?
He was a typical game manager. Cam Newton was right. Brock Purdy's a game manager.
How did they do it though? How did they do it?
The same way the Dolphins tried. The same way the Dolphins try to do it, right? They tried to put.
And now we find ourselves at a crossroad where the money on the quarterback side is not gonna be able to balance out to the team you got to surround him with, and that's our fucking problem.
Well, but it's not only a Miami Dolphins problem. It's a everybody's problem because unfortunately, whether we like it or not, in the NFL, quarterbacks get paid. Not the linebackers that everybody thinks, and it's not the pass rush. Yeah, there's money in that.
Well, Christian Wilkins won $20 million.
Again, Christian Wilkins can want whatever the fuck he wants, Crypto. You're missing the point. The fact of the matter is you can give a D tackle $20 million or a linebacker $18, $19 million. But when we're talking about money in the NFL, that's a quarterback statement. Quarterbacks are the ones getting 45, 50, now almost 55, $60 million.
It's
so
true.
I don't want to hear.
But where
it's not a Miami Dolphin problem.
Okay.
It's
well, be
NFL
good
problem.
riding with that Pinto.
But okay,
driving that Pinto
listen,
and them NASCAR
where is the crux
drivers
of
are getting burnt.
Every team's failure. Every team's failure where they hit the restart comes from failure at evaluation at the quarterback position. Even so recently as the Titans right now. The Titans are blowing up. Vrabel, a great coach, been a fucking really good coach with them. Made do with missing on quarterback drafts of Mariota and the latest dude, fucking whatever the hell his name is, to then paying quarterbacks and building a team around him to remain competitive in the Ryan Tannehill era with them. But it still cost everyone their fucking job. And that's the impending fucking brick wall I feel like my organization continues to be on. And that's what pisses me off.
Hey,
that's
Cap,
what pisses me off.
Hey, Cap, EM said he dropped the link.
EM said he dropped the link.
Here we go.
Who was that?
EM said drop the link.
Who's
Here
that?
it comes.
I don't know what that is.
He sounded like a goddamn coach.
I think he's talking about you, Lewis.
He's talking about you, Lou. Lou sound like a motherfucking coach, dog. Coach Lou and the crew.
Hey, you already know what time it is. Shout out. See, I don't look at my phone, but shout out to whoever that is. Appreciate it.
That's my cousin, Jonathan.
Yeah, that's Cap's cousin.
That's my cousin.
Hey,
he's in here throwing money around and
Yeah,
shit.
he is.
He's in here throwing money around tonight.
Well, Cap, he's your cousin, right? So obviously he's a good dude, and now he's agreeing with me, so he's an extra special dude in my opinion. He's a great dude, man.
He's fucking smart, apparently now.
Yeah, absolutely. He's hanging around me and you, Cap. That's what it is.
That's it. But yeah, this is some bullshit we find ourselves with because I get it. We're not making any better things happen with a move from Tua to Baker. What I'm saying is it buys more time in the build a perfect organization around
Yeah.
limiting quarterbacks.
What's up, EM?
Because that's what it is.
Hey.
Oh shit! Here
you
come
can spread
EM.
that wealth around.
Yeah.
You can do what Victor
Oh,
did.
shit. What up?
What's up,
Man,
EM? It's like that, Chuck.
What
Shit,
up?
it's like that. God damn, man.
Nah, I'm on
Try
one
not
tonight,
to sound
dog.
so enthused to hear from me, bro. We ain't chopped it up a
shit.
minute, Cap. It's like that, homie. All right,
Oh shit! Here
let
it
it be
come.
known then. Let it be known, goddammit.
God damn, who let the cat drag this shit in? God damn it!
Who? I don't even know who this
Hey.
is. So.
Hey, real quick, man. Hey, first off, bro, like salute to the panel, man. Everybody, color. I don't know who this rabbit dolphin clown is, but everybody else, crypto, I'm familiar with for the most part.
Yeah.
Salute, gentlemen, goddammit. Salute to y'all, man.
Damn, I don't get a
What's
shout out.
happening, man?
Yeah. Take money, hell yeah, goddammit. To that's my fuck that brother from another most. That's my brother right there, goddammit.
Oh,
salute,
shit,
always
damn.
respect, homie. Always respect. But
Rubbing
yeah, salute to y'all, man. Hey, real quick, Cap, though. Like I came up here, man. I heard you first off, it was a good panel tonight, fellas. Very good conversation and whatnot. But I wanted to hop up here and kind of address, not necessarily address, but just kind of offer a different perspective on what Cap, his statement was about, the Brock Purdy narrative about, how he's on a rookie deal now. And that enables a team to really be aggressive in free agency and bring in proven talent to surround their quarterback that's on a rookie deal, right? That is true. There's a lot of truth to that. But I will say this, though. If a quarterback, I don't know why that terrified. I'm not saying that's you, Cap, but a lot of people are terrified that if, once you pay a quarterback, you have no chance, right? You have absolutely no chance to be competitive and ultimately get back to where you were before you paid him, right? I don't think I've never subscribed to that narrative because you look at the playoff teams. Lamar, right? He signed his deal. And again, I think his money doesn't officially kick into next year, right? But
yeah,
they've done a great job before they gave him his deal. You look at going back 2 years, right? They've done an outstanding job of acquiring and hitting in the draft and surrounding him with a lot of young, cheap talent. That is the key right there. If you're going to pay a quarterback on a massive deal, you should be hitting on your draft picks anyway. But that
was kind of a
lot
point
of pressure on Greer to hit, in the offseason
with Kansas City. When they paid and got Alex Smith, they were still smacking dingers out of the park with the draft picks, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they continued to do so by trading up and getting his replacement at the quarterback position in Patrick Mahomes, and they've continued to do so while building around him. They're not a big free agent team. Absolutely. But guess what? Is that something I can hang my hat on with my team?
No, and that's fair. I'm not offering no pushback. I'm not necessarily, I'm not terrified of that idea because I'm willing. I think the last 2 to 3 years, I think they've shown to be Greer and that whole structure of the front office. They've proven that they can be a little more consistent and hitting on draft picks, right? But I'm willing to give them an opportunity and give them a chance to really prove, really step their game up and prove themselves. But again, but I hear that narrative a lot, bro, on a lot of different platforms, man. No matter what app, when they're discussing this narrative around the quarterback, especially Tua, right? They think once you pay him, it's over. We're never going to be able to compete, but that's not true. To your point, Kansas City rebuilt on the fly. Now, again, they got Patrick Mahomes, and he makes up a lot for a lot of your team's weaknesses or deficiencies, right? But if you got a quarterback playing at a high level, right, you first and foremost, you got to be aware of what that quarterback skill set is, and you need to make sure you structure a team just like Detroit did. Jared Goff is not considered an athletic guy, right? Limited mobility, don't have the biggest arm. But what did they do? They built to his strengths. They absolutely built a brick wall in front of him. They did not compromise on the O-line. They took a page out of Sean Payton's book, and guess where Dan Campbell, who did he sit under the most? Sean Payton. Drew Brees, same thing. Limited mobile quarterback, right? They absolutely kept a brick wall in front of him for the duration of his career. They did not compromise on the O-line. Bill Belichick took the same approach with Tom Brady. So how this is relative to Tua, again, we might differ on what level Tua can actually get to. That's fine. I'm not offering any pushback on that. There's still levels that Tua has to get to, right? But Tua is a similar quarterback like them. You just gotta you gotta figure out, be aware of what his skill sets is. You got to build according to that. So, to my opinion about this whole narrative, I don't think a team, if you pay a quarterback, bro, top money, it's not the end all be all, and that's not going to put us in a situation to where we're not going to be able to be competitive as long as they continue that pipeline through the draft.
EM, let me ask you a question real quick.
Let me say something real quick, if you don't mind. And the one thing everybody wants to say that they want to give Tua weapons, right? But when he first started, he was doing good with the Matt Collins, the Perrys, and who was the guy we drafted from?
Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker.
We got for the Raiders.
Oh, who was that?
Matt Collins.
Oh, Lim Bowden.
Yeah. When Tua first came in, he didn't have Waddle, he didn't have Hill, and he was doing just fine with those weapons. So
the only thing we weren't doing was putting the ball in the end zone. That was our only problem then.
Those guys were catching the ball; those were completing. I think the best thing is to do that offensive line at the end of the day. If he has catchable balls, I think he could work with. He doesn't need those weapons.
Listen, you're not going to get any pushback. You're not going to get any pushback from Dolphins fans to build a brick wall. You know what I'm saying? It helps you in the run game. It helps you with your quarterback staying upright and facilitating the ball. Absolutely. The deal is this. You can build as much brick walls as you want. You can do all this stuff. At moments in games against key opponents in the brightest of lights, you're going to have to step up and make plays. And Tua has failed to do that. Now, can
100%. 100%. I agree with that.
Can he do it in the future? Sure. He's not fucking dead and he's still playing football. He can do it. But is it something I can lean on and count on? No, and I don't think it would be wise to the Dolphins to lean on something like that. It would be wise for them to try to find other avenues to lean on other people, and that's just it's a hard thing. You're asking to not only catch lightning in a lightning in a bottle. You're asking to let it go and capture it again to win a fucking Super Bowl. That's what you're asking.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the last thing. Here's the thing. Let's say you do build this wall, right? And if Tua isn't the guy, guess what? The next quarterback, don't you think he's going to benefit from that same?
100%, 110%.
Well, you don't stop replenishing your ranks or building your team because of any one thing. That's just the facts, right? So we're not in disagreement there. What I'm in disagreement over is that I don't know, man. Look, you handcuff yourself with the money because you're already handcuffing yourself in
and
every
that's
other
where
way,
I want to
bro.
get to.
It's just it sucks, dude.
And that's where I want to get to, right? EM, let me ask you, in your opinion, if you were the general manager, if you're Chris Greer, you're the one handing out the Dolphins contracts, right? Because I think for the fan base, that's what the problem is. I think if we woke up tomorrow and there was an extension, but the extension was only for $80 million fully guaranteed, I don't think anybody would have a problem.
Everybody would be singing the praises of everyone involved.
But if it was for $215 million fully guaranteed, everybody would be in an uproar, right? So, EM, what do you think? I don't need to have years. I don't need to know the full amount. What are you giving Tua Tagovailoa if you're Chris Greer fully guaranteed? What does that look like for you?
Damn, bro, that
on the spot.
Man, I'll say this, bro. Tua don't deserve. I'm gonna say this out the gate. Tua does not deserve, in my opinion, right? He again, I'm more than comfortable with the level that Tua's gotten to, right? He's shown enough for me to move forward in the investment with him and see actually can he get to that next level. But with that being said, he hadn't earned the right to reset the market. So what is and let's go by annual salary. What is it? 50 something? I guess Deshaun Watson's still the highest paid. He makes what? What is his annual salary per year? In a roundabout figure
or something like
that. I think it's low 50s or something.
So
low to mid 50s, I think.
So he's somewhere between Daniel Jones, in my opinion, based off what we've seen the last 2 years, his level of play, somewhere between Daniel Jones and
50. Let's just round it off in 50. He's somewhere in between there with me. If you box me in and force me to pay him, if we got to make a decision like tonight, right? But that's just where I'm at. I mean, again, he's earned a contract. I mean, I think we can all agree that he has earned a contract. That's a fact. I mean,
I would say he's earned a contract, but I would say it behooved the Dolphins to push the 5th year and ride the 5th year option to prove the mega deal, because it's not the money, it's not the contract, it's not the cap, it's the fact that you are going to sign yourself up for we've been with Tua for 4 years. You're going to sign up for 4 more years. This is an election year for Dolphins fans right now.
Right. Yeah.
It's an election year. You're not just getting this guy for, another fucking season or 2. You're mortgaging the near future of your life to one person, and everything else has to be manipulated around that. So I don't believe that they are in a comfortable enough situation to mortgage their future. And I say, listen, if you got to pay more because of not having cap deal by extending this year, or got to pay more because you made him right out in the 5th year and he proves everyone that he is worthy of everything, then so be it. I'll be happy to pay for money lost for time gained. You understand what I'm saying? Money and time are the only stuff we got, and really that's how it needs to be played right now.
EM's been stealing my notes, by the way. I just want to put that out there. So I just want to put that out there.
Turn up, crypto, goddamn it! Turn up, goddamn it!
So that's
I don't know.
I
said it earlier. I think again, Lamar with one MVP, he won it this year, but with one MVP, he got 191 fully guaranteed. Jalen Hurts with a Super Bowl appearance got 185 fully guaranteed. I think Tua should be somewhere under that. That Tua has no MVPs to speak of, right? No playoff wins, hasn't never won the Super Bowl, never a Super Bowl appearance, didn't win the division, hasn't had a playoff win yet. Jalen Hurts again, Super Bowl 185 fully guaranteed. Lamar MVP, divisional round of the playoffs 191. I think Tua should something around that. 180, what Jalen Hurts got 185, 180 guaranteed for Tua. I'm fine. 175 fully, but he has to be lower than those gentlemen.
That's fair. That
was
fair.
going to be my question to you, Ian.
I
and
think
remember who you're talking to. You're talking to an objective guy. So I don't mind if you say yes to this question. But do you no? Do you think that the Giants made a little bit of an overinflated mistake?
Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%. 110%. Hell yeah, they overpaid.
But wait a minute. If you think Daniel Jones does have some skills and everybody is wrong to trash him, then say it, because it don't bother me. I'm an objective guy. If that's how you feel, if you think that Daniel Jones earned 45 and that's where the floor should be in the market, then that's a fair opinion. You know what I mean?
when you're negotiating with a player, and it could be any position on your roster, right? When you're negotiating, if you're a GM, in terms of leverage, right? If I'm a GM, if a player is trying to leverage a number to me, well, objectively, I need to entertain that potential leverage, right? I'm gonna need a little bit of both. I'm gonna need a little bit of what you did in the past and a little bit more projection, right? Where because again, at the time you're signing that whatever your respective deal, right? We don't know what the future is gonna bring. The player could either be 2 times as better or 2 times worse. We don't know that. But part of that, everything that goes into that negotiating in terms of leverage, bro, you need a little bit of resume and you need a little bit of projection. Daniel Jones had absolutely no resume. He was he's been one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, right? And that's why I couldn't understand.
He had one flash in the pan type of fucking year with the new
which he threw 15 touchdowns. Which he threw 15 touchdowns in his best year.
It was a terrible flash, but it flashed for them. And didn't they get to the play? Didn't they win a playoff game though?
And see that's why. And see that is why where people need to be careful, right? People need to be careful when they're just basing, and this is relative to Tua, but not just Tua, but any quarterback. You shouldn't just be, your motivation shouldn't be all about wins and losses, bro. Like in terms of negotiation of what you're willing to pay a player. You got to have that individual resume. You got to have that first.
With Eli Manning, bro. You know what I mean? So They think they got their guy, and it's understandable because, again, they won with a guy like Eli Manning.
That's true. That's true. So they figured they.
So they're like, hey, this guy got a playoff win. He can definitely beat Eli Manning. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they're right for thinking that. I'm just saying that's what they're thinking.
But does everybody think that? Because again, for me, I can only speak for myself. But I do think Tua is more Brock Purdy than he's ever going to be. See, I think Tua is better than Daniel Jones, and I think he's a Brock Purdy type. Now, Brock Purdy, right? We never want to give the injury excuse, and I'm not saying Tua didn't play bad against Tennessee or Tua didn't play bad against Buffalo, and other aspects of our team showed up, right? But we did have major injuries across the board this season, especially later in the season. The same team, the 49ers, mid-season, right? And I think they were 5-0 going into the game, or 5-1 going into Cleveland. Their left tackle, right, Trent Williams, out. Deebo Samuel's out for a 3-game stretch. The same team, Cap, to your point, that's playing in the Super Bowl tomorrow was 0-3 in that stretch. But we will never come out and say our 2 best pass rushers were out for the season. Our starting safety in and out of the lineup at the end of the season, right? Center, gone. Left guard, gone. Right
100%.
guard, gone. We never gave that deference, but we're talking about a guy in Brock Purdy that for me, I believe Tua is very similar in that aspect, right? Pocket guys kind of running the same system, right? Can escape, but they're no Lamar Jackson, right? But you're watching that guy in the Super Bowl, but we'll give Brock Purdy the deference of going 0-3 when he only had 2 of his star players out. We can't give Tua that deference when he had 7, 8, 9 of his guys out.
Oh, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that.
That's
Tua is supposed to overcome all that.
Point, though. But
What
that's
guys
a fair
were out?
point, though.
Again, look, okay, I'll humor the point, right? Yes and no.
Are those not facts, though, Cap?
Did the Niners win their
Well, the Niners had more. You're right about the star players, but they had more actual players total in that game out in those 3 games. Against the Vikings, they had more.
But
yeah,
they didn't have
about the star players, they were.
Not starters.
But as far as total players,
okay,
again,
you
but
can
they
say
was missing
stars
players.
and stars and superstars. It doesn't really matter because the win losses acquired with or without stars didn't matter in the end because they still won the games. Whether Brock Purdy didn't have those weapons just like Tua didn't, the offense still. They were 0-3, but guess what? They corrected it and still won the division.
I think they lost 4
and
games though, Lewis. Actually, they lost 5 games because they lost to the Rams at the end of the season.
If the Dolphins,
and that was with their stars.
If the Dolphins would have won and would have found ourselves, listen, if Tua would have won one playoff game right now and won it in a respectable manner, this conversation wouldn't even be happening. He had a couple of opportunities in the final stretch and in the playoffs to come out and do something to push back this narrative.
And again, I think in the first round of the playoffs, if this Miami Dolphin team with these injuries wouldn't have to go to eventually the AFC conference winner, I think we might win a playoff game. The fact of the matter is,
110%. Let's keep it in perspective.
The
100%.
fact of the matter is, right?
I hate. First of all, I can hear Ian smiling through his teeth right now. God damn it!
Assuming that we don't play the Buffalo Bills.
Lou, I ain't been talking. Ian's obviously been warning bullshit.
God damn it!
This I am not going to stand for. God damn it!
I have not.
Let me say something real quick.
No, hold on. Can I finish my point? Finish my point? All I'm saying is, No. Everybody got in an uproar. What I'm saying is we expect the Miami Dolphins with injuries and Tua, a guy that a lot of people on this panel believe he's limited, right? We expect him to go into Arrowhead and beat the eventual AFC conference champions, right? Josh Allen at home did not do it. Lamar Jackson at home didn't do it. So that we're asking a more limited guy at quarterback, right? With a team that is riddled with injuries, right? To go into Arrowhead and pull that off. But Lamar Jackson at home couldn't do it.
No.
But Josh Allen at home could not do it.
You know what? I would have accepted. I would have accepted.
That was on the defensive side. We had maximum participation on offense.
2 touchdowns.
All of our guys was there on offense.
The end result, okay, is those replacements performed good enough, okay, and we're not talking about winning the game. We're talking about scoring more than one fucking touchdown.
Thank you, Color. Thank
Lamar
you.
Jackson at home scored one fucking
Good
touchdown.
for him. Good
yes,
for
he
him.
did.
Well, but that's what
they
I'm
scored
saying.
10 points.
What are we talking about then?
After a couple of victories in the playoffs.
The Baltimore Ravens are not saying they have the best offense in the history of civilization throughout the whole season. We were saying that.
To be fair, Zay Flowers probably would have scored. To be fair,
yeah, he would have scored. Exactly. That was just good Kansas City defense. Good point, Josh. It's not the
those Kansas City corners are awesome.
Just play good defense on that one. He punched that ball out at the nick of time, right before he crossed the end zone.
And look,
we're talking about a different outcome if he crosses the end zone.
Look, this is what I don't want, Lou. I don't want. Well, the Dolphins only lost to the best teams, and the Chiefs beat them twice, and once in the playoffs, and they're winning the Super Bowl or going to the Super Bowl. To me, being a second also means you're fucking last in football. And
I would agree.
Yes,
I agree with that.
Yeah, but Lamar went into that game having beaten 11 teams over 500 this season.
And by
he
no
walks
shot
in with a little cachet. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And no shade.
Not only beating 11 teams, he beat them by double digits.
I'm not trying to shit on Lamar Jackson, and I'm not even trying to shit on Josh Allen. All I'm saying is our expectations with a lesser quarterback, right, than Lamar and Josh Allen.
That's all I'm saying.
Well,
it's apples
again,
and oranges.
No, that's not true because my expectations are not that, though, Lou. And I am of the ilk of, hey, we have the same we should have the same realistic expectations on Tua that the Niners are putting on Brock Purdy. My problem is that the Niners are going to now. We'll see what the Niners do. We'll see what Brock Purdy becomes. Are they going to pay him an ass load of fucking money to be a point guard, limited fucking quarterback? I don't know. And I don't. Will they pay him? Yes. What kind of deal will they work out? Sure. I promise you this: they'll fucking draft a quarterback, though. And if it doesn't work out once they pay him or not, they will pivot so quick while keeping everything else intact. While this organization's only answer is to blow it up to the fucking studs.
How many points did the Bills score against the Chiefs? 24. So let's say Brock Purdy scores more than 24 and enough to win in that game tomorrow. Are we saying Brock Purdy again treating them the same way as every other team now? Even though Brock Purdy can put up 30 points on them and still lose?
Well, again, I don't know what business you are. I'm in wins and losses. I don't care about points. If you score 24, but the other team scores 25, then why the hell weren't you able to score 26? That's the mindset I
don't give a fuck if Brock Purdy don't score a single fucking.
But you just sit up and said that everybody's scoring. We expect Tua to score more than 7.
Absolutely. Just like Tua scored 27 if we're going to play this dumbass game, right? I hate when we do this bullshit because now I was defending Tua. Now let me kill him. In the Tennessee Titan game where I said he played like absolute dog shit, he scored 27. The problem was the Titans had 28. So I don't give a fuck that Tua scored 27, right? He needed to score 29.
Well, I think he needed to get a first down.
No, he didn't. He didn't need to score that. He needed to get a first down. He needed to get 360 inches of football, and that would have won the game.
All I know,
that's what he needed. He was 360 inches away. He didn't need to score another damn point.
At the end of the day, they lost by 1 point. He didn't get the job done because they lost. Period.
Don't tell me because of that. It was because he didn't get those 360 inches.
And again, fine, however you want to say it. The fact of the matter is 360 inches, 1 point, a field goal touchdown. I don't give a fuck. They lost. Tua played like dog shit. But no one's going to sit here and tell me that Lamar Jackson at home played any better because he played like dog shit.
I didn't say any of that, bro.
I didn't say you, Color.
He played
You
better.
said, no one said you. Okay, Color.
Let me rephrase that.
I didn't
No,
say
I got
you.
you, Lewis.
I'm
I
talking
got
in
you, Lewis.
general.
Let me rephrase that. I think that you're talking about apples and oranges when a guy comes in with the cachet that Lamar walked in with. Yes, he had a bad game. I can admit that. That was a terrible performance for him. Sure. But we're talking about a guy that walks in having beaten 11 teams over 500 by large margins this year. We're not talking about a guy that struggled against every single good team he played and couldn't get a first down to win a game against Tennessee.
And I agree with everything you just said. That's not the point I'm making. The facts are the
I'm just saying that Lamar has earned my grace, bro.
And he's earned again. I'm not saying that he's earned mine. The fact still remains that the expectations for the Ravens this season was to be playing tomorrow. They're not there because their quarterback that has earned all the grace. He played like shit.
I'm just not convinced that that's our expectations. Like as a fan base, as an organization, because we're sitting here talking about Lamar failing at that pinnacle.
That was well again. This is in hindsight. We're playing Monday morning quarterback here. When we were going week 15 into Baltimore at 11-3, I don't know about anybody else. I've been saying it all night. I'm speaking for myself. My expectation was this team was Super Bowl bound.
Yeah.
This team should have been.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we mean. We didn't have those expectations.
Dallas was the team I had us losing to, not the Ravens.
And okay, well there you go, Color. When we were playing,
I don't think nobody had us losing a single game because we was the fastest and best roster in the universe.
Was our expectation, Color? You just brought up Dallas. When we played Dallas, did you think that this team was capable of going to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I had said as much most of the
okay. Okay. So then what are we talking about? Our expectation was Super Bowl. We just didn't get it done.
Because when we're putting up 70 points on the Broncos and we're beating all of these bad teams way more decisively than we did last year, I didn't feel the need to go overanalyze the all 22 all year. But when we start failing horribly in these moments where we can't even get a first down in 2 drives to end the game against the Titans, yeah, I'm looking again. And guess what I see? The same things we've been seeing for the past 3 seasons, except guess what? Now we get more yardage this year because of Mike McDaniel's scheming. But the end result is the same.
Color, how do you deal with the expectations where it's like, because my expectations have changed.
And I'm just saying that people can say, oh, well, Lamar gets to that moment and chokes. Yeah, and he's going to be there to have a chance to rectify that next year too.
Hey, Color, can you hear me?
We might make the playoffs. That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah. But so let me ask you this.
So excuse me, not to you, Lewis, but to anybody. Excuse me if I hold a little water to Daniel Jones winning a playoff game. When you're talking about he's got the floor now. Why do we sit there? Okay, so a guy that wins a playoff game that's a bad quarterback sets the floor at $45 million a year. Okay, fine.
Well, I'm asking.
Our guy hasn't won a playoff game.
And I agree. But did Daniel Jones, and this is the argument I had, or the question I had for Cap with the 49ers and Brock Purdy. Did Daniel Jones win the playoff game in everybody up here's opinion, or did the New York Giants find a way to?
I don't know.
Well, I think we
no, they had enough plays in that game against the Vikings, Lewis.
I don't know, but what I'm talking about is the knee.
I had to go back and look at the numbers, Lewis. It was enough plays made in that game.
I'll tell you this.
Reaction that anybody that wins a playoff game deserves some kind of decent money. That's
here's the thing. Here's the thing with that question, Lou. The Giants don't know either because guess what? With him, they went to the playoffs and won a playoff game. Without him, they did jack shit. So really, they still don't know the answer. Was
right?
It him
because
or not?
even though they got the playoff
he did
win,
get hurt.
He
right?
got
Because
hurt.
even though he got the playoff win, we're still calling his salary the floor.
Yes, exactly.
And study Baker's.
And
Baker should be the floor. He's got more playoff wins.
And this in lies our.
He's got more than Daniel Jones. Baker's contract should be the floor.
The quagmire Dolphins fans find themselves in. To pay him or not to pay him? That is the question. Because if you pay him, you seal your fate with trying to manipulate, draft, and figure out rather than build and figure it out along the way. Because we still have the same question we had before the man ever walked in the building. Do we have a franchise quarterback on our roster? And we don't know. And that is the frustrating part. And if you got to continue to ask yourself and continue to find out and continue to look, you probably should go ahead and just draft quarterbacks until you find one. Because I'll tell you what, the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Jaguars, the Texans, all these teams know the answer to that question. They know that answer.
I would respectfully, I would disagree. I would disagree. Again, I think the Bengals definitely know they have a franchise quarterback, right?
Okay.
I got to see what the Houston Texans are next year. Again, great season. C.J. Stroud, amazing season, right? But we don't know. And then the Jacksonville Jaguars, and this is the point I was trying to make to Crypto the other night, Cap, and I'll explain it to you here. 2 years ago,
But Lewis, I've always said my definition of franchise quarterback is to win a playoff game.
And that's cool, Crypto. Can I finish my goddamn point?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the Jacksonville Jaguars 2 years ago found themselves with a brand new head coach, a quarterback, right, that went to the playoffs, won a playoff game, lost in the division around the Kansas City. Coming into 2023, everybody, including myself on this panel, would have picked the Jacksonville Jaguars with that quarterback, with that head coach, with a team, right, that was built, and bring in a receiver that they traded for the year before when they did make the playoffs, and Calvin Ridley, that he wasn't there. We would have all picked that Jacksonville Jaguar team to win the AFC South and be in the playoffs.
Win the division. I picked the Texans. I was the only one picked the Texans from the bottom line.
Said win the South.
Not win the South. I picked the Texans to win their division.
And that's fine. Okay. Crypto, you're the only one. You're a smart man. You picked the Texans. Everybody else up here would have picked the Jacksonville Jaguars. What did they do? They were sitting at, I believe, 9-4, just like us.
But if you go back, they had a collapse, and they missed the playoffs.
I
got you, Lewis. But if you go back
to
the
quarterback that Cap just told me, they know they got the guy.
I got you, Lewis.
They do.
Go back
because they do. Because hold on. Let me land. Because listen, you could take his. That's his third year this past season, and by measure of successes with what we're trying to find a floor of playoff appearances and victories, he still has a better record. While Tua's going into year 5, they got one more year to figure. We know that, Color, and we can say that he was definitely playing injured this year, and everybody knows that.
That's at which point I jumped off the Jags bandwagon. If you go back and watch our shows, as soon as he got injured, I said,
you could easily tell he didn't have the arm strength. You could tell he didn't have that shoulder power that he usually does.
And injuries always are part of the game. Let me ask you this, Cap. Cap, let me ask you this. You just brought up he's a year 3 quarterback. That is very well. Again, that is a fact. Is his head coach a third-year head coach?
No, he's not.
His head coach is a Super Bowl.
It is his second year at that team now.
How long has Doug Peterson been head coaching in the league? He is a Super Bowl winning head coach, right?
And
they had a major
second stint, Lewis.
It's his only second year with the Jags, but okay, go ahead.
No. This is only his second team as head coach.
That's true.
That's fine. And again, he coached, 7 years in Philadelphia?
Something like that.
I'm not sure.
I don't think it was that long.
I don't think
it was
that long.
It was like 4 or 5 years.
So 4 or 5 years there, right? 2 in
In 2
Jacksonville.
years
So
here, so it's about 7 years now.
Let's say 7. But he's a Super Bowl winning head coach, right? He's been around this league. He knows how it goes. They had a major collapse with a franchise quarterback and pieces all up and down that roster. Am I right?
Sure.
Oh, so what are we again?
But
what
I'll
are we
tell you
talking
this.
about? I don't believe they got it all
they're
figured
not
it out.
well because Lou, their back ain't up against the wall right now. They've got one more year to see that if guess what, he comes out healthy and they don't win the division and they've got 8 wins, they would fucking probably ride out his 5th-year option. But even still, by the measure of the first 4 years from quarterback to quarterback, they have more answers than questions with the guy that they possess.
Well, again, that's where I don't believe that, because you just told me and Crypto picked the Texans this year coming in. How are they got everything figured out when in a division they got a first-time head coach that just came into the thing, rookie, defensive rookie of the year, offensive rookie in the year? You don't think they have any problems in that division, Cap, moving forward?
So, yeah, they very well may.
No, it's going to be competitive.
But guess what? They find themselves as the Jaguars organization winning the South next year. Whether they win in the playoffs or not, they will guarantee to know that they have their franchise guy.
I also,
you see what I'm saying? And they don't have. You know what I do know? They don't have to pay. They're not going to have to pay him $250 million fucking dollars to find
if
out.
They don't, and if they don't move, if they don't make the playoffs, Cap, then what? What do you do with that Jacksonville Jaguars?
Or say they make the playoffs and lose in the first round as a wild card team.
Right.
They still, as measure from Tua to Trevor Lawrence, have a higher probability of what we're talking about in that statistic of wins in games, because he went to the playoffs.
Have to put them on the
and
same
in his
team to
rookie
do that,
year.
El Cap. You have to put them on the same team to do that.
No,
Would Lawrence have a higher probability here, and would Tua have a higher probability or lower probability over there?
We can play that game all we want, but fucking that's just too hard.
I mean, that's the only way to fairly do it. It's getting in the weeds. But the point is,
the
point
is, the Dolphins are bearing down the 5th year.
Coming back in a third off season together, I think they are poised to start putting on the accelerator.
And that's a perfect. I think Color. I think you hit it, and I'll play that game. I know Cap said he didn't want to play it, but I'll play it. If switch roles, right? Put Tua on the Jacksonville Jaguars this season. Well, I think Jacksonville finished 9-8. I believe they're 9-8 with Tua. Put Trevor Lawrence with the Dolphins. We finished 11-6. I believe we're 11-6 with Trevor Lawrence. That's what I believe.
Wait a minute. Let's do this completely fairly. If you're talking about this was Trevor Lawrence's second year with Mike McDaniel and this offense, we absolutely are probably in the AFC Championship game.
That's not what you told me.
I got a better one, Color.
You just said switch. No.
What if Tua was down 27-0, Lewis? What if Tua was down 27-0 in a playoff game? What do you think would happen?
Hold on, Josh. Lewis, you had then extended it to what would have our record been this year. Well, then you have to go change the scenario, because that's the only way to truly know. Lawrence would have to be in his second year with Mike McDaniel.
I will say this, Lou,
because otherwise you're plucking a guy into a system and a language and a coach he's never worked with. I mean, obviously, you know what I mean.
Hold on a second.
Let me finish, because I'm going to give you that, Lewis. If you're asking me, do we put up the numbers Tua did last year, first time out the gate with McDaniel? With Lawrence, probably not. But we might eke out a couple more wins than 9.
Yeah, I don't think so. It don't, for me.
You said Lawrence wins how many games with us, Lewis?
I don't care. Trevor Lawrence ain't winning no more than 11. Again, the season, the way it played out, everything.
I just don't know.
Everything how it
you
played
say he
out,
wins 11 with us.
Trevor Lawrence is the same. It's 11. You think Trevor Lawrence is win again?
He doesn't.
I would predict 11-6 too.
Bro, we do not
somewhere around that range. That would be my prediction record wise.
We
do not lose to Tennessee with Trevor Lawrence.
And that's fine.
Okay, so
12 wins
be
right
12
there.
and 5.
Hey, but there might be another game that we win that we do lose with Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, yeah.
but
Listen, yeah. Well, again,
that's
all I
they're
know,
equal.
and again, all I know, right? Take the playoffs out of it. In the regular season, the Jacksonville Jaguars this season, my ex-partner at my old job, he's from Jacksonville, was a Jaguar fan, right? I think we were working that Sunday. We were watching the game actually in the truck. The Jaguars played Kansas City. They scored 14 points, just like Miami did. So all I'm saying, I just haven't seen enough from Trevor Lawrence to say he is the guy. Just how, and again, I'm not even saying Tua's the guy. I've never said that. I still have a lot of questions for Tua, but there's no way in hell someone can honestly sit here and say there's not questions about Trevor Lawrence.
So I will say this, and I agree with your premise.
No one's
right?
a perfect specimen, but
I would agree with that. Yes, when I say that Jacksonville has their franchise guy, yes, you're right. They're kind of in the same boat as the Dolphins are, just another year further down the line with
probably
less success.
Who would you bet on
in the playoffs
as to being the guy that does actually change? Who would you bet on?
Now I'm gonna go with to that. If I had to take a team to start over with, and build from the ground up, a Lawrence or a Tua, there is a lot of similarities and equalities in there. Yes. I don't think either team has
Clemson
their
versus
franchise
Bama.
guy for certain. I would say by purely playoff victories alone, you are a little bit closer with one than the other.
And Lewis, I'm more inclined to agree with you. The thing of, I guess, that for me is that if the Dolphins had both, like if the Dolphins had a choice between these two, and they were gonna stupidly give either of them the bag or a longer term contract and say, okay, we're going to pay to see if this guy becomes what we need him to be. If you're asking me which one I'd feel more comfortable with that stupid decision, then it'd be Trevor Lawrence. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I would say I'm probably even more comfortable from that scenario
them both play on the 50
with
option
Tua because
scenario.
it's that's where I
like that.
That's where
I'm inclined to agree with Lewis, where it's like, yeah, you're right.
But if I was gonna have to pay one or the other, I would stick with the devil I know.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna have to pay one or the other, I would stick with the devil I know, and pay Tua over Lawrence at this point from a Dolphins perspective.
And that's all I'm saying.
I can understand.
I think. See, I try to be, and Color has heard me say this plenty of times. Mostly everybody up here. 4 years ago, whenever it was, 3 years ago, Deshaun Watson signed me, not knowing what we know now or what he's been since he landed in Cleveland. I would sign me up, right? Upgrade over Tua. Tom Brady, bring him in. I don't give a fuck how old he is. Upgrade over Tua, right? But me and Color last year, Color was doing those shows. I would hop up there with Color, banging the table. Listen, banging the table. Go get Lamar. Bring him in, right? Upgrade. But why? For me, to Cap, and I think you just said it. If I gotta get off of Tua, I ain't got no problem doing that. But don't sell me another Tua.
No,
I'm not going to the car dealership to trade in my Toyota to go get a Honda.
So that's why
it's the same. If I go to get rid of my Toyota,
that's fair. Would you dump $100,000 into your Chevette?
Mercedes.
Give me a Lexus.
But would
I want a Lexus. I want a Mercedes.
I said before, I'll settle for the Jeep Wrangler. I need an all-purpose vehicle.
But then, would you go home after
I need 4x4.
deciding not to do that? Would you then go home and dump $100,000 into your Chevette?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
give me a Subaru all-wheel drive or 4x4 Wrangler.
That's a perfect example. Yeah, you don't have to buy a different car now or a newer car or a better car. But are you going to dump all that money into your old piece of shit you were just thinking about buying a new car from?
Well, let me. I think I'm the wrong person to ask this question. Color, knowing you're from Florida. Cap, you're from Florida. Shake, you're from Florida, right? I think we're the wrong gentleman to ask that question. Because I know guys that have personally went and just bought the shell of the car to spend $100,000.
Yeah, I mean,
That's true.
That's what we do in Florida.
Yeah,
That's what we do in Florida.
Right, because
that's
if you're
true.
talking 100,000 to do a Chevette, you're gonna have nitrous. You're gonna have
yeah.
That's pimp my ride type stuff right there.
And I know guys that have done it. Right in South Florida, there's a saying: "Go get a dunk." I think Color. I think Cap. Everybody knows what a dunk is, right? Go get a jalopy. Go get that 88 Delta, but give me 6 months, and that bitch is sitting on 26-inch chrome rims with a
fucking chameleon paint job.
That's pimp my ride, Louis. That's pimp my ride.
For me, it's a sleeper that's defeating Corvettes and shit on the road. You know,
I want my ride pimped out.
So again, all I'm saying is upgrade. I'm fine. Let's move off, right? But the Geno Smiths of the world, the Russell Wilson, bro, those are Tuas to me. And
this is
when
why
we had these arguments, right? We're talking about Super Bowls. Tua, let's say he's not getting us to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to push back on anybody that has that opinion. But don't go tell me that Baker Mayfield is leading us to the Super Bowl. Don't go tell me Russell Wilson is leading us to the Super Bowl.
I wouldn't say that.
Those are Tuas to get into a Tua.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anybody up here is. I'm not saying anybody up here is.
No, I get you, Louis.
You can
but
never
the answer
guarantee
again
nobody.
to that still remains.
So
it depends on whether we're just trying to be happy with a baby step playoff win, in which case,
to CB one,
Baker Mayfield. That's all I'm saying.
So this is why for me the wise move to make is actually more than one move. To me, you bring in a high upside, low cost potential project that I think has different varying skill sets that the Dolphins could find themselves utilizing. I'm looking at a dude like Jake Browning, right? And then I also look at I would be interested in my offensive play caller picking someone in the draft that he likes in the middling rounds that has potential and has skill sets that are desirable, like mobility and arm strength. You know what I'm saying? And that he coach up a guy that, say, has only played quarterback for a short amount of years, but has this stupid amount of talent, but obviously needs a lot of coaching. And then also a guy like Jake Browning, who showed up, played great, and has stuff. And what can he do as far as installing into our system? Can a guy like that operate this system and ride out to his fifth-year option? Now, we're not going to have a full open quarterback competition, but if you ride out to his fifth-year option, you put this sort of political pressure on him by also drafting a young guy and bringing in somebody outside, not keeping things so comfortable. You put an uncomfortability on him to perform, which in turn is going to have him either play better and win big games and do things with his arm, or he's going to fail. And however he fails, you can put any amount of, whether it's through injury, interceptions, bad play, whatever happens, there's failure, in which case you find your answers. To me, the Dolphins need to do both of those things to find the answers we need to find, because signing up your life for 4 more years of said politician in my life is not the fucking answer. It's not.
But LCAP,
Okay, I agree.
LCAP, this is my issue. Like, do you think, because I agree with you, but take a quarterback from Washington like Michael Penix, if he's there round 2, a quarterback that I like a lot, I don't think Greer's going to do it. That's my problem.
No,
with
he's
it.
not.
Junior?
No, that's not.
Is that
that's not in his blood.
Junior you're talking about?
What?
Michael Penix
Penix Jr. though is again, he's Tua.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what
not.
he
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to make a point, though, Lou. Like, whatever your opinion is, I'm just saying.
The only upside I could see with taking a Penix, right, is you draft him in the second. Say age. And
say Bo
contract.
Nix. Say Bo Nix is whoever it is. Bo Nix, whatever. There's there round 2, a really good quarterback prospect.
Yes.
Do you think Greer will take him?
I don't know.
It's not in Greer's DNA to do something like that.
Bo Nix like absolute dog shit in the Senior Bowl. Couldn't hit the backside of a ball.
But it also
Lewis,
gives
you know how the Senior Bowl is.
No,
But
no,
it gives
no,
you.
no,
It gives you.
no, I don't. What does that mean, Crypto?
A lot of people don't perform well, then they come and
thing.
fall out.
It doesn't matter, Lewis. It doesn't matter what quarterback it is, Lewis. It doesn't matter. Whatever quarterback that you
Nico
like.
Collins was trash in our Senior Bowl, and we hosted the Senior Bowl, and he's balling out now.
Here's the thing about drafting any quarterback. Not necessarily that this one's going to be my immediate answer and upgrade to the one I already possess. It then gives me time and financial flexibility to get it right. Where signing Tua puts your balls in a vice, bro. You are fucked.
And that's fine. If you wanted to draft a quarterback again, I'm just going off Josh Allen in the second round, right? If you draft, you got Miami has a first, a second, no third, no fourth, 1/5, 2 6, and a 7. If you draft a quarterback in the 6th round, hell, I'll even go up to the 5th round. I ain't got no problem. But if you mean to tell me the Miami Dolphins that are in cap hell from what everybody tells me, we have 23 impending free agents, and you mean to tell me with your 2nd round pick, you're drafting a quarterback, you have lost your fucking mind if you're Chris Greer, and now I'm going to come out and say you should be fired.
But Lewis, Lewis, wait a minute. What if it's a quarterback?
There's no way in hell, again, whether we like it or not, Tua more than likely, whether contract or not, is probably going to be the starting quarterback of 2024. I need the 1st round pick and the 2nd round pick to be starters contributing to this team.
I feel like that's how, Lewis. I think that's how you get in trouble, though, Lewis. That's how you get in trouble.
Hey, Lewis,
that's how you get in trouble,
what
Lewis.
is the likelihood that we're going to start our 2nd round players?
That's exactly how we've lost our chance to get a good quarterback.
That's how you get in trouble, Lewis. That's how you get in trouble,
Lewis. Those 2nd round players are not going to play anyway.
It's how we watch Bo Nix end up on the Vikings in the 2nd round and win Offensive Player of the Year. And it's cool. Shit like that, dude. That's that I'm saying.
We're assuming our 2nd round players are going to
you can't lock yourself in.
That's literally how we. That's literally how we.
What if Drake made Lewis? What if Drake made? What if Lewis? Hold on.
We had every bit of chance, like anybody else, to get Lamar Jackson, like the Ravens did.
But we're playing these if games. If we miss out on a quarterback like Bo Nix, but if we pick him and he turns out to be trash, then what?
Lewis,
so we can sit here.
What if it's a Marino
and play these if games all we fucking want? I'm not in the if.
Then we ship him to Pittsburgh just like we did Minka Fitzpatrick.
What if it's a Marino situation? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but like Drake May really starts to fall, like Aaron Rodgers did. Remember Aaron Rodgers? He kept falling and falling. Everyone's like, "Why hasn't he been picked yet?" You cannot pass on him.
Hey, Lewis, what 2nd round pick this year that would have caused us to win an extra game?
You want me at midnight to play we're playing games now, and Josh Allen, right? At midnight. That we're talking about a quarterback that is projected to be a top 5 overall pick is going to be for us in the 2nd round when we pick at 50.
No, I'm saying, Lewis, is what I'm saying is.
No,
it happened with Aaron Rodgers. Lewis, hold on.
They did it with Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers was projected to be a top 5 pick. If a quarterback, like, let's say people have a high opinion of Drake May.
Fine. And did he go in the first? Again, cool. Did he go in the 1st round?
Let's say,
like 20 some picks later, 25 picks later.
So,
Lewis, hold on.
So, no.
What if the Dolphins go back?
I ain't going. So the Dolphins are going to go back. The Dolphins are
going to trade back. What if they trade back and so and so
and draft
still
the quarterback in the 1st round? So in the 1st round, and let's say they go. So at 29, you're picking a quarterback?
Why not?
If he's supposed to be a top 5 pick,
if there are real questions in the organization about
why not?
Tua.
You've given the organization another potential 5-year window to figure out the quarterback position.
Yeah, you actually extended your Super Bowl window.
You've done the fiscally responsible thing to do over another generation.
See, everyone got mad at the Packers for taking Jordan Love when they had Aaron Rodgers, who was supposedly still in his prime. Everyone yelled at him for it.
Everybody yelled at him, yeah. Including Aaron Rodgers. He yelled at him too.
Hey, Josh Allen, let me ask you a question. Right?
Shoot. Go ahead.
Because Buffalo was in the divisional round of the playoffs. Where y'all picking? 26, 27?
Yeah, it's something like that.
All right. If Drake May is there at 27, you draft him in the 1st round?
That's not the same situation, Lewis. And you know it's
Bullshit.
not.
No, again, but he was in Buffalo.
Well, it is a little different, Lou.
Lou, that's a completely different situation.
It is because think about it like this, Lou. Does Josh Allen have injury problems? I would say no. Has Josh Allen been able to win games in the playoffs?
I tell you this though, Lewis. Hey, Lewis.
Has Josh Allen been able to win his division?
If Josh Allen was 34 years old, Lewis, you're hold on, Lewis. If Josh Allen was like 34 years old, you're damn right. You're damn right. I would take him in the first round.
He has to be 34. So
yes, if he was, yes.
Well, hold the fuck on, because Cap just told me, and shout out to Tony on Twitter. I mean this with all due respect. But Cap just told me that if you drafting a quarterback in the first round, gives the organization an extra 5 years to figure out. And all I know, when we walk into Dolphin Stadium, right, we see Super Bowl trophies. When you walk into a lot of teams in the NFL's building, you see Super Bowl trophies. You know when you walk into Buffalo, what you see? Shake. If you're still there, put up the fucking window. They have none. So this narrative that Josh Allen has, I don't give a fuck how many Josh Allen can end up with the most playoff victories in history.
Lewis,
Josh Allen,
this is not a Buffalo Bills question. This has nothing to do with the Buffalo Bills.
I'm asking
no, you're turning it into. This is what you're doing. You're trying to say that
would you draft a quarterback? Because your quarterback cannot get over the hump.
You're turning it into an issue about Josh Allen.
You asked the question, would you draft a quarterback later in the rounds? Cap agreed with you. He said yes, because it gives the organization flexibility, right? It brings in competition.
The Bills don't have questions about their quarterback, Lewis.
Has Josh Allen been able to get over the hump?
In 13 seconds, was that his fault?
I think he left that stadium again.
Okay. There's no questions. There's no fan. There's nobody in their right mind, Lewis, that has questions. You're turning it into a rivalry debate, and that's not what it's about.
I've been called a little slow before.
Well, this is a slow question, Lewis. This is damn slow.
Won a fucking Super Bowl.
Lewis, has Joe Burrow won a Super Bowl?
Cincinnati.
So are the Bengals? Lewis, hold on, Lewis. Be quiet. Are the Bengals going to draft Drake May if he slips? Okay, you fucking idiot. You're a fucking moron. Lewis, that's a stupid fucking question, you stupid fuck. You stupid fuck. You fucking bitch.
Yo, mama, I know.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking bitch.
Look how fucking retarded you sound, Lewis. Look how fucking retarded you are. Say it louder.
I know I do.
Fucking moron.
I know I am.
You got your feelings because I asked a legitimate question. You got your fucking feelings, little boy. You got your feelings, little boy.
I know.
Shut your fucking mouth.
I bet you wouldn't call me a little boy if you seen me.
I would say I would pop you right in your fucking mouth if I saw you, bro.
I know you would.
Shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up. Shut your fucking mouth.
Are you ever gonna?
You're in your fucking feelings because you got called out.
You ain't fucking bitch. I don't give a fuck about you, ho.
It sounds like you give a fuck. It sounds like you give a fuck a lot, Lewis.
I don't give a fuck about you, ho. You think I give a fuck about you?
It sounds like you give a fuck a lot, Lewis. Hey, Lewis, it sounds like you give a fuck a lot.
All these other motherfuckers like talking.
Hey, Lewis, it sounds like you like hearing yourself talk, Lewis. Lewis, it sounds like you like hearing yourself talk.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Again, you know what? There's other people on this panel must love to hear me talk. Because they're
Jonathan
the ones that
Whedon
invited
Senior
me
Bowl
to come
is
over here.
Hey, Lewis. Lewis, is that your opinion?
Senior Bowl.
Hey, Lewis, is that your opinion?
Ask them. They're here. Ask them.
I love you, Lou.
Thank you. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
You got in your feelings. You got in your feelings.
I ain't in my feelings shit. I'm going with the conversation. If the conversation is a quarterback gives an organization more time to figure shit out, if a quarterback is bringing it into a building, it gives the other quarterback competition, then every team, right, should draft a quarterback and be looking to bring in competition. This is not a Miami Dolphin problem.
So Joe Burrow, so the Bengals are going to draft a quarterback in the first round.
They should. Well, I heard Cap bring up a guy that was backing up Joe Burrow this year that he said he would love to bring in.
I'd love to give me Jake Browning, dog. Give me that homie, dog.
Give me Jake Browning.
Give me some Jake Browning.
why the fuck did the Bengals go get? If they had Burrow, why did they go get Browning?
Jake Browning was not even drafted. Jake Browning's not even drafted.
He's not.
But they brought him in, though, right?
An undrafted free agent? Are you really this stupid? Are you really this fucking stupid?
Did they bring
Oh
him in?
shit!
Hey, Cap, when Jake Browning got in, what was he looking like, Cap?
Well, when he came in and played, he looked great, but the guy bounced around several teams before ending up on.
So Jake Browning, hold on.
He was on the practice
squad.
squad.
Jake Browning's in competition with Joe Burrow, Lewis. That's what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
Am I saying that he's in competition? Am I saying he's starting? No, but they brought him in, right?
So they're not going to draft the quarterback in the first round, then, right, Lewis? A rookie free agent.
He was the third. He was a third stringer.
He was a rookie free agent, Lewis. I don't like
third stringer. He's a third stringer on that team.
He was on somebody else's practice squad, I think.
Yeah, he was on. He was on
Seattle.
No, it was Minnesota. He was on Minnesota's practice squad, bouncing around, and he got cut last year. He's not a rookie. It's actually his third year in the NFL. He bounced around quite a bit and finally got his chance to shine on a team that had decimations in their quarterback room, and he did a good job. That's why a guy who came up the hard way, I like that. I think bring that homie in here personally.
Good system. He was a part of a good offensive scheme.
Look,
He
it's
was
good
the-
off.
He was the third. He was the third string. I thought he got when Joe Burrow got injured. He came right in.
No, he did not. He did not. He was. It was.
The guy led the league this year in completion percentage, and he's the only quarterback that had 70%.
Mm-hmm. He
You
did really
don't
good.
think you don't think the Cincinnati Bengals knew that he was that accurate?
No, I don't think they did until they got him in the
that's
building.
my point, Color. That's my point. Why would they bring him in?
That.
They brought him in for competition, right? They brought him in.
They brought him in
for insurance.
They didn't bring in Jake Browning for competition for Burrow, Lewis.
Again, well, when he got in the building, if he was so accurate, Color just told you he was the only quarterback to finish with 70%, right? If you bring a guy like that in, could it push your quarterback?
Here's what I'll say, Lou. Here's what I'll say, Lou.
Could push a guy like Joe Burrow? Is my
I would say this,
No,
Lou.
Lewis. You have to be on fucking mushrooms to think that.
No, Dravius.
Lewis, you're a fucking moron. You're talking about Jake Browning replacing Joe Burrow like a fucking retard. How stupid is that?
Listen to this fucking guy. This is unbelievable.
I would say this.
You just brought up Jake Browning as competition for Burrow, dude. Do you realize how fucking retarded that is?
Are you
listening,
you slow, dumb fuck? You must be an inbred. Your mama fucked your daddy. Her brother didn't.
Say it again. Hey, Lewis, say it. Hey, Lewis, say it again. Say it again.
Inbred fuck.
Shout out to all the Habsburgs in the house.
You're a fucking inbred.
Jonathan,
hey, Lewis, are you in your feelings, Lewis? Hey, Lewis, are you in your feelings?
No, I'm in your mama's vagina.
Wow, that's an interesting thing.
Hey, shout out to the 800 credit score. The guy said he had an 800 credit score. Shout out to the 800 credit score. Whoever's that in the chat.
It might be 750.
No, the guy in the chat said he had an 800.
I didn't see that. Anyhow, yes.
Shout out to that guy.
I would say this, Lou. If the Bengals are smart, they're already signing Jake Browning because although Joe Burrow has been electric when he's on the field, he has gotten plenty of injury problems. And if I was the Bengals organization, I would do whatever I could that if Joe Burrow continues to be injured, I would have Jake Browning there to back him up. That's what I would do if I were them.
That's not the question, though.
Why would you do that, Cap? They got Joe Burrow. They don't need it.
Because if Joe Burrow goes down for the count, then I can move off of him to my Jake Browning to stay around.
Okay.
And that's and guess what? And guess what? That's the exact type of scenario. That's the exact type of scenario that I want the Dolphins to have because I believe we're in the same sort of boat in that situation.
Well, we don't buy insurance policies in Dolphin Land, El Cap. I don't know what they.
Okay, wait a minute. You think the Tua situation is the same as Burrow, though? Dude, I don't.
Josh, could you possibly look at it this way? Like,
well, I say it's
definitely not Mike White.
Are two different.
I say it in this. Hold on, Color. Let me land it real quick because I'll say this with the Jake Browning coming to Miami potential scenario. He comes in, and we can call it a quarterback competition all you want. Tua starts, and it's his job to lose until either injury or absolute collapse, or the team loses favor on him in the back room.
But Josh, on the Cincinnati thing, okay, it's there's a there is kind of a different context involved when you're talking about, was he brought in for competition? Probably not. Was he brought in to challenge him, given that if Burrow don't get himself healthy and stay healthy, that this guy could challenge him for his job, and all of a sudden 5 years from now, this guy Jake Browning is the franchise quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals, and we all forgot how he became that way?
That's a different question, though.
But that's what Lewis is trying to say, man.
No, what I'm saying
in my opinion, that's how I interpret what he's trying to say.
If you have questions, if you have questions about Tua,
you're not an inbreed color. Of course, you understand.
Well,
fucking inbred.
If you have questions about Tua, and a great quarterback prospect slips in the draft, if you take him, right, that's something I don't think Greer is going to do, even if he has questions about Tua.
Well, listen, if I'm the Bengals, to stick with it, I wouldn't say no to them drafting a fucking quarterback.
Right.
And in
the first round?
Maybe
absolutely. I mean, look at how many injuries Burrow has sustained.
I was going to say, maybe they're convinced by Tua and ears that injury proneness is important, and Burrow is injury prone.
I mean, think about it like this: if Burrow goes down and doesn't complete another season, that guy is all but fucked. As far as, I mean, the narrative is almost solidified that this guy will never be able to complete a season because he's constantly getting injured.
He'll be the Odell Beckham Jr. of quarterbacks.
But Color, are the questions about
they would have to wait?
The
they would
questions
have to
about
wait a season because he has a sample size.
We're not talking about Burrow when he's healthy. We're talking about what you're not getting when he ain't around.
No, but what are there questions about Tua's play though, Outcap? That's why you would draft a quarterback.
If I may say this, Joe Burrow could be like the quarterback I always call Josh Allen, Carson Wentz. Because remember, Carson Wentz was his rookie year. He almost had MVP season. He's the reason why they were the 1 seed, and Nick Foles played at home in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he was constantly getting injured.
And they moved off of him, and he faded into obscurity.
Well, no, but Shake, that's what happened. Wentz had a bad season. Wentz had a couple bad seasons, and that's when they drafted Hurts.
Josh Allen, hold on, let me address Crooker real quick. Yes, he finished 1 season, but that's all he finished is 1 season.
Right, but when both of them finished both seasons, one went a hell of a lot further than the other. Okay. So I don't
either way, who knows how far? How do you know how far he would have went if he would have stayed healthy? So
but I'm saying in the seasons that they did finish completely, Burrow finished with a Super Bowl appearance. Yeah. The other one didn't.
And Josh, yes, but he was the reason why Nick Foles played at home. And was able to
but he never finished the job. I'm comparing apples to apples when it comes
to he wouldn't draft the quarterback.
Apples to apples.
Lewis is saying
that's what I'm saying.
Both of them finished.
Shake's point.
He went to the Super Bowl if he would have stayed healthy.
Shake.
Your point. You could say Burrow could have went to the Super Bowl.
Shake, the other angle. Hold on, Crypto. Listen.
But they didn't.
Who's to say Burrow will ever have
still better because he's actually made it to the Super Bowl.
Crypto. Who's to say Burrow will ever have a full season healthy? Who's to say Burrow's going to be healthy next year?
Exactly.
Or ever again?
No one knows the future.
Exactly, but I'm saying if he comes out another
the
year,
universe could collapse into a black hole. But no one knows that.
But if he goes out next year and gets injured again,
been right about that the whole time, man. Burrow is injury prone.
He's injury prone. He is. He has injury prone. And
as of now, in year 4, Lamar was injury prone until he played a full season this year.
Okay, fair.
He already had an MVP that year in his career too. But again,
I want to throw this name out here. Okay, because this is what I was really meaning. Like, nobody thought that this guy was going to go on a couple season straight playoff run, deep playoff runs. Okay, because by the time he got to the Kansas City Chiefs, he had already been with 4 different teams in the NFL. Okay, and nobody thought that he was going to turn into one of the most revered names in Kansas City Chiefs lore, and that's Steve DeBerg.
Right.
I mean, he became their franchise guy for about 3 or 4 seasons.
Well, I agree with. I agree with that assessment. I'm saying if you have questions about Tua's play, I'm not talking about his injury history. If you think like El Cap says, I don't know if this guy is really going to get us a Super Bowl. Like Lewis said, he thinks all these other guys are lateral moves.
But why they don't get to the Super Bowl is irrelevant. The Cincinnati Bengals could have just as many questions about whether they get to the Super Bowl, or I should say, the Bengals might only have one question as to why they're not going to get to a Super Bowl with this guy again, and that question could be whether he's injury prone or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Who cares whether it's about
That's why I say the jury is still out on that. He put enough data and film on there to give them assurance that when he's on the field, they play at a high level and they get to title games.
Yeah, the reality is, oddly enough, you're not. And we could take this argument and slide it right to the Bills. We're not talking about injury.
That's why it's no question.
We're not talking about arm strength or the same issues.
Even with the injuries,
it's a case by case issue. And the only team that walks the NFL right now that can say they got it figured out is the fucking Chiefs. And
besides that injury he had this year was a freak injury.
That's 100% not true.
Well, but my point is that if you don't have Patrick Mahomes right now, just like if you didn't have Brady a few years ago, your chances of winning are significantly less.
No, but El Cap, the team that had Drew Brees, the team that had Peyton Manning, the team that had Brett Favre, none of those organizations were moving off that quarterback. And if you
watched the Colts move right off of Peyton Manning. I don't know.
Yes, when his neck came out. When his neck came out.
A reason.
But no one did it. No one did it.
Effect.
But El Cap, Josh Allen's not in that situation.
No, he's not. But if they were to go ahead and draft one, you can't say they're dumbasses for doing that, because guess what? The guy they have didn't get the job done. Who's to say the dude they get isn't the guy that does get it done?
Okay, that's that just doesn't make any sense.
Allen also puts his body on the line.
Josh Allen has yet to be injured, but guess what?
That's why I said if Josh Allen was like 34 years old, like 33 or 34, and it was like an Aaron Rodgers situation where a quarterback unexpectedly fell, then I would. Then I would.
By the way, Josh Allen, you remember? Do you remember real quick? Do you remember when Jake Fromm dropped the Buffalo Bills? Like, hey, he fell. They drafted him. I forgot what round, but they did draft Jake Fromm because he fell and they couldn't pass up on him.
Yeah, that was in the 5th round.
Josh also,
but still, he fell and they drafted.
We're talking about taking a quarterback like in the 1st round or early in the 2nd round.
Josh, you're right.
Yeah,
forget the draft.
That's what they did with Russell Wilson. Didn't he get drafted in the 2nd or 3rd?
The Bills would be really wise.
I won't take a quarterback in the 2nd round.
The Bills would be very wise to trade for a guy that can emulate Josh Allen, and that would be Skylar Thompson. So yeah, you're right. Forget the draft. They should bring in Skylar Thompson.
Well, I'm not going to argue with Sky. I think Skylar Thompson has potential.
That is Josh Allen's replacement.
Mm-hmm.
And you could save a bunch of money.
Car insurance. I mean, I'm sorry. I hate to agree with the big O on this one. You keep drafting quarterbacks until you get it right, regardless of what round it is in.
I think you should draft quarterbacks even if you have.
I don't give a shit if it's the 1st overall pick like the Cardinals.
I want the Bills to take Joe Milton.
Your guy, you keep drafting him until you get it right. I
want the Bills to draft Joe Milton.
He is absolutely spot on when he say that.
So if some guy by the name of Jim Kelly III came out of the University of Miami, you guys wouldn't draft him
in the 1st round?
Whatever. Where was Jim Kelly drafted?
Josh Allen. There is no questions about Josh Allen. That's what I don't like. You're not. It's like trying to replace Brett Favre when he was 27 years old.
On whether or not you have to finish your test.
I've had questions about his shoulder.
Whether or not your guy is the guy. the GM and coaching staff have to make a quick decision on whether or not your guy. You got to be lightning fast like the Cardinals did when they moved off Josh Rosen. When you're doing that,
questions about Josh
while
Allen
drafting quarterbacks until you get it right. You got to do what the Cardinals did.
Yeah, it would be like drafting a quarterback in the first round when Brett Favre was 27
on your evaluation process. Injuries included. You got to make fast decisions. You got to turn in your test papers early to your professor and say, I'm done test taking. I've made my decision.
Scar, in the Bills fan base, they don't call them Joshineers. Michael K calls them the Josh Allen Bone Stroker Club.
That's right.
That's after a six-pack for Michael K, though.
Yeah, Michael K did say that. Bone Stroker Club.
After a six-pack and playing pocket pull, he starts really getting in on it.
When he starts playing with himself after a six-pack.
He starts feeling it.
That's probably what he was thinking.
Look, you usually don't find AB and I in agreement, so you're cooked here, Josh. Because I mean, I've had fair objective questions about Josh Allen's shoulder all season long, and I still question his shoulder.
I mean,
I question Josh Allen's ability to learn.
What he's talking about.
I think Josh Allen is.
He's talking about
dummy.
him. AB is only trying to say that to debase Josh Allen to cover up.
I look at Josh Allen. And his eyes are very close together.
I see through that nonsense.
And I say that Josh Allen is on the spectrum and has a learning disability, and that will forever hold him back.
Well, if you keep fucking running your head into
that's an indirect way to debase the
into fucking David Long,
while uplift another guy.
Right. That's why I think the whole glorification of Allen over Lamar Jackson is so unfair because Josh Allen runs head on into linebackers and hurts his own shoulder, whereas Lamar Jackson breaks linebackers' ankles. Did you notice he did it again?
I didn't see Allen really take that many hits this year, though.
Did you notice he did it again in the playoffs? I forget which team it was against, but he broke another linebacker's ankles. You know what I mean? So, literally, the guy got injured. He got his ankle.
That was the KC game. They thought he was going to go for a touchdown.
I think there's 6 or 7 teams in any era, maybe 8 or 9, maybe, where when those quarterbacks are in their prime or approaching the prime, however you want to word it, they're not going to take a quarterback. They're not going to take a quarterback in the first round.
No, we're not saying that they would, or should. What we're saying
but that's because the organization.
My point about that is that if they did, they wouldn't be
then
wrong.
You stop drafting.
That's what I'm saying. If they did, they wouldn't be wrong. Because even when the fucking Packers selected Jordan Love, what happened? Aaron Rodgers had an MVP season. They won the
That's
NFC.
why I said if Allen was 34 LCAP, I would do it.
Yes, you're right. But guess what? In 4 years, when Allen's not playing no more because he broke his fucking neck, in hindsight, they didn't look right. But in the long term, 2020 is only as far as you can see.
So let's go back. Hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back to the original question of Lewis then. If Drake May slips like Aaron Rodgers did, do the Dolphins take him?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because the Dolphins organization doesn't take – the great organizations do great things. The Packers, the Steelers, the Niners, these great organizations that find themselves in every era of football maintaining good output at some point in that generation. The Dolphins are not doing that.
The reason why they only had 3 head coaches in their career.
That's right. Well, not just them, but just think of all the teams I'm
They'll
naming.
definitely take them.
And that's
even with Big Ben still on the roster winning Super Bowl
that does that. They don't do that because I don't know why. Because
would you do it though, El Cap? Would you do it?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't stop drafting until I felt like I had the next fucking Patrick Mahomes / Tom Brady, whoever the fuck it is. I wouldn't stop until I had that guy. Or and all the while, I would build in the ranks the perfect coaching staff and players around it as such, because you might be able to catch lightning in a bottle like the Niners have with a Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is not a guy that you're going to hang your hat on in a 10-year span that you can rebuild the team around more than once and stay competitive. It's impossible.
We agree though, because it's just not the first. This year, if it's the third round or fourth round approaches, and Joe Milton is there, like Color said, because Allen plays a physical game, I'd take Joe Milton in the third or fourth round.
Yeah, why not?
Because I would take a quarterback every couple of years, like the Patriots did when
every few years, just to be safe, dog. That's how I think. And right now, the Dolphins need. That's just what I think. All right, so we've been going for over 3.5 fucking hours. What a fucking show. Let's give Michael K a second here because I feel like he's got something to say, and then we'll do some final thoughts. Michael K.
I just want to apologize to all the Dolphins fans for having to listen to that idiot Josh Allen is the next Carson Wentz. I just have to apologize because nobody should have to deal with that shit.
Oh, well, we appreciate your apology from Bills Mafia to the masses of Fins Up Nation. And we will take it back to headquarters.
Appreciate that.
We'll take it back to headquarters.
Man,
Michael K is not Bills Mafia, by the way.
No,
I would never call him. Only the idiots call themselves Bills Mafia.
Hey, Michael K, would you draft a quarterback in the first round this year?
No.
How about the second round?
No.
Okay.
Do you believe in Josh Allen?
I wouldn't draft the quarterback, period. Why would you?
Okay.
Okay, do you believe that Josh Allen is the guy?
Right now, no.
So you're going to go without a quarterback?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying he could be the guy. I'm also saying that he doesn't, he's not like a franchise quarterback that cares about football all year long like he should.
He doesn't care about football, Michael.
Shut up, Josh. I'm talking. Don't cut me off.
Okay, do you want
Shut up. Don't cut me off, please. Put him on mute, okay? I was asked a question.
He'll stop.
Thank you.
Most
quarterbacks, even Mahomes, who won the Super Bowl last year, was back training within 2 weeks. There was pictures on Instagram and Sports Illustrated and all these things showing him back in the gym. Josh Allen's going around bragging that he played 26 different golf courses in the offseason. So right now he could be the guy. He just
could be the guy.
He cares, shut up. He just cares more about everything else other than what he was paid handsomely to do.
Yeah. So you think that's the difference for him? His offseason regimen is the difference of him being the guy? Why you won't draft his replacement? His offseason regimen.
I think there was a conversation. I think there was a conversation between Pagula and Bean to Allen saying, "Look, you're a full-time football player. You need your time off, but you need to deal with the Buffalo Bills all year long because the contract doesn't go from OTAs or from minicamp to when you lose in the first round of the playoffs."
So you think
the second round?
He shouldn't
What
play.
about his play on the field? Do you think his play is good enough to continue on with him?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. He's a top 5 quarterback.
Oh, okay. So it's mostly his off-season regimen that you.
Yeah, I you know what? I don't think his heart. I don't think his heart's into it. I think he's a little piss pot that got rich that didn't earn the money that he got.
You didn't earn it, Michael K?
Shut up! I ain't talking to you.
So you think he's one of those, gated community guys, that like to go out on the golf cart and shoot some balls,
he bought an $8 million house on a golf course in Southern California.
Right.
So that's where he'll spend his time instead of going hanging out with Jordan Palmer or anybody else that could actually help him. He'd rather be on the golf course.
So you'll keep him in hopes of his off-season regimen changing, and then say, "Hey, we'll move forward. We're not going to draft his replacement yet."
Well, you can't not with his contract. You can't do nothing for another 3 years.
Well, no,
right,
you
so
could
you
draft
stuck
and
till
then build someone
2028.
through the ranks or something like that.
But you're not gonna, oh crap! You're not gonna draft somebody this year and have them be 5 years. 5 years older when you could possibly.
Somebody always falls. Maybe you guys jump up 5 picks and grab somebody. You could always do something like that. But yes, I would venture to say you're right. But again, never is still never. So
it's not like buying a 1988 Monty SS that has 1,500 miles on it in the year 2023.
Two-time MVP franchise quarterback of the fucking Ravens right now. The guy just won MVP. He slid. Everybody had their shot. Everybody did.
Yeah, all 32 teams did.
Every team had their shot.
Some teams twice had. I think there's some teams
did have
that was in the
every team,
more than one pick.
He passed on everybody's board. He passed on everybody's board.
And you know what? I just thought of something. I just thought of something. Now that Michael K's up here, listen, Lewis put me in charge to give the cooking folk apron to somebody deserving, right? Your cousin, give it to your cousin. That's it.
Yeah, let's do it to him.
Okay.
Absolutely, I agree 100%.
All right, it'll happen. We'll make it happen then. Michael K, I'll text you and we'll work it out. We'll work it out. All right, that is, huh?
Just send it to your cousin. There's nothing to work out.
All right then, done.
Yeah.
Cooking folk incoming.
Cool.
Yeah, he paid his dues. He paid his dues to the tune of about $382 today.
Yeah, it was quite a
he
bit.
threw in more than that, dude. He had two $100 fucking ones. So
I guess it was 24 or something.
Yeah, he spent a lot.
I missed that one.
That was a money bag plate.
I'm trying to find the cooking folk apron fucking thingy. Maybe it's under shakes. Let me see. Let's see. Maybe it's under your shake. Is it in here? Ooh, look
Breaking in all the deals.
Oh, I like your cousin. Hey, crap, I like your cousin.
You got enough to buy some Ethereum today, El Cap.
Skin Flute Clan.
What he said, skin flute?
Josh Allen Skin Flute Clan.
Yeah, I know, right? The skin flute band. Yeah. All right, well, we'll work that out. I'll get it to him. We'll make that happen. Listen, everybody, hit the like button if you haven't. Show got off the rails. No final thoughts. Everybody go to hell. And we'll see you guys.
Damn.
One final thought, real quick. Just real quick. It's promotion tonight. Myself, Crypto, Dolphin Winters, and Miss Vince, 3:00 in the morning. We're coming on with Insomnia, man. Be sure to check it out.
Look for the Insomnia episode
Check
dropping.
out the Insomnia episode. If you can't go to bed tonight, tune in to Insomnia.
Always the
Super
Insomnia. There for
It is
you
officially
either
Super Bowl Sunday.
late at night when you're super excited, or first thing in the morning you can catch the Insomnia. Make sure you guys are catching up, hitting the like button, subscribing, join the membership, guys. We're back, we're live, and thank you everyone for coming on the panels. We will see you guys next time. Fins up.